Last time on Metanoia Blues. On their way to the Wind Whisperer home base of Blackrock, the crew of the Ephemeral Chaos received an unexpected visitor. Emma Brightwind, first mate and adopted sister of the Prince of the Wind Whisperers, descended on a sky surfer and confronted Willow about their departure from the Storm Chaser. Luca and Varys stood at bay while Anne hid themselves and listened in on Emma's thoughts. After a brief spar where Emma clearly had the upper hand, Willow finally snapped and shirt-fronted Emma, challenging her and her stupid brother to come find them. With a rekindled respect, Emma departed, vowing to see Willow once again. Varys proposed a round of drinks during the debriefing, both to unwind and to allow the crew to share some of the personal details they'd been holding back, for the sake of deepening bonds, of course. Unfortunately, the conversation around the table only worsened the mental anguish Anne had been in, resulting in them having a minor breakdown and finally bringing up the sibling they hadn't mentioned in years. Neve Keenwhistle. Rattlestone, Middle Dura. Madame Hedda's home for wayward children. At some point in 980 YK. It's a dim, rainy night, about a month after Anne first moved to the orphanage. You sneak out of your bed as quietly as you can go to get a glass of water from the restrooms. It's past lights out and you don't want to disturb Madame Hedda or any of the night wardens just for a drink. The tap is way too loud and the pipe knocks and gurgles as you fill your cup with water.
I flinch inwardly at the sound, but it's fine.
You drink your fill, dry your mouth on the back of your hand, and sneak back to the bedroom. On the other side of the dormitory, you spot a dim light flickering behind a sheet that's been pulled over one of the lower bunks to form a makeshift tent. You can hear the not quite hushed voices of other kids speaking.
I curiously, quietly approach the sound.
Okay, here's the plan,
A confident little voice says.
After school and before curfew, we head to the bazaar. Becca, Chester, you guys will be on lookout. One out front, one out back. Emily's closes at 3:30 and nobody comes back until morning, so if we do a heist an hour after closing, the coast should be clear. Umi and I will break in the back door and fill our school bags with sweets. Then we get out, head back here, and nobody will know a thing.
And kind of makes a face as they're listening to this conversation through the sheet. They consider the names being spouted. Okay, they know Chester, they know Becca, they know Umida and Emily's, and at that recognition, and can't help but speak up from the other side of the sheet.
You're gonna get caught.
There's a sudden, shuffle and screech, and then the sound of, a large hand being clapped over a small mouth.
And also kind of jumps back and claps their hands over their mouth.
Eventually, this little halfling kid that you've seen around before, little fluffy short brown hair, and big blue eyes, big ears, pops out and is like,
You're the new kid. What are you doing?
They just drag you in by the wrist into the tent.
And suddenly I'm standing among all these kids.
You're talking about Emily's bakery, right? Well, yeah.
Well, that area is really busy. People use the back streets as, shortcuts. And I've even seen guards take smoke breaks back there. It's not a good place to hide.
At that, the other three kids, a half-orc girl with like long droopy hair, sort of red-haired little half-elf kid. I mean, little in the sense of they're young, but they are bigger than both you and Neve, and sort of a, you know, that thing of like dark blonde to light brown, right in the middle of that sort of color hair of like a like little human boy, or no, human girl. Sorry, Becca and Chester.
Yes.
Mix up. Yeah, Chester has red hair. Becca has the mousy brown in like twin tail plaits.
Yeah. And it's just kind of scan the crew that they are now sitting among.
So Neve takes on the information that you've just imparted and looks a little like stumped. Then
Chester says, "Well, what do we do then?"
I don't suppose I can talk you out of it.
What, you don't want bags full of baked goods?
No, it's
What
less.
are you, some kind of square?
It's less that, and it's more. I can't even lift the heavy boxes during cleanup, so I'm not going to really withstand jail very well.
Chester and Becca both blanch, and Neve says,
Nobody's going to jail for stealing candy. Come on.
No, I mean.
Besides, we're just orphans. What are they gonna do? We'll just give them the big old puppy eyes.
And kind of pouts, taking on this information. Like, would that work?
Neve certainly seems confident in that.
Mm-hmm.
But you're right, it is better if we don't get caught in the first place.
Well, let me think. I used to go there a lot, and there's this. I think there was this vent. Yeah, it's way up near the ceiling, but I think. Well, I could fit.
And touches their cheek, pinches it, and stretches it a bit.
I think everybody, like Becca, Chester, and Neve all go, "Whoa!"
And kind of laughs and shrinks under the attention.
I think Neve immediately like grabs your face and is like, "How'd you do that?" And then like just like smushes it around.
Oh, weird.
And kind of starts batting them away.
I'm a changeling. We're squishy.
Can you look like me?
And kind of leans a bit closer to get a better look at Neve.
I already have the ears.
And holds their hands over their ears, which are strangely halfling size, despite them being taller than most halflings their age.
So it's just a little bit.
And kind of touches their face a bit, and then slowly pulls it slightly, and everything else kind of falls into place, and they copy Neve's face.
Like this?
Neve sort of tilts their head side to side. Becca and Chester in the background are just like, "Ooh," and Umida, who has been completely silent so far, says,
You're still a little big.
Oh, yeah, I guess you're right. The rest of it, and then
Pats their chest a bit, and shrinks. And this is why they wear suspenders and very loose clothes, because when they shrink, they do deflate/inflate.
Yep.
But the pants don't come off, at least.
Yep.
Is that better?
Neve looks at you with like just huge, sparkly eyes.
How big do you say that vent was?
Well, I've only seen it at a distance, but, well,
And looks at themselves, now a doppelganger of Neve.
well, we could fit, I guess.
Neve, like, snaps their fingers and looks like,
We'll take your plan.
Oh, and that means I'm coming with you. I guess
Well, sure thing. I mean, you know the joint, right?
Yeah?
That means you'll be excellent at getting in.
Okay.
Says, obviously, like, I have never broken into a place in my life. But I'm taking your word for it.
yeah. Neve holds out their pinky and says,
Okay, you're one of us now.
and makes you do a pinky promise.
Yeah, and changes back into themselves before they do the pinky promise, because that feels significant.
We cut to the Bazaar of Dura. The next day. The largest commercial district in Sharn, but by no means the best. The winding streets are an ever-changing tapestry of stalls and tents, hawking anything and everything, while the glowing signs of brick-and-mortar establishments beckon customers to shelter in from the din of the streets and buy something while they're at it. One such permanent shop is Emily's Bakery, a popular chain local to Sharn, well known for their many delicious pastries and cakes. The sweet smells of honey, chocolate, fruit, and cinnamon are like siren song to the noses of hungry kids. The glass display case of treats might as well be a mythical dragon's hoard to the likes of Rattlestone orphans.
Yeah. I think we kind of see a shot back on the chaos, because N is telling the story to the crew, and recounts how they got into Emily's Bakery. And they say, I remember after school, we found this quiet corner of the bazaar. Neve stood on Umi's shoulders, using a screwdriver to pry open an outside vent. It's Sharn, right? So all the buildings in a block tend to be connected. Anyway, after they got that grate off, Umi basically hurled me and Neve into the shaft. I remember it being a tight squeeze, even for me. Not like that would deter us. Kids from the lower districts learn to cope with claustrophobia pretty quickly. The worst part was probably the fall, on the other hand. Remember I said it was high up? Once we finally managed to beat the grate off the bakery vent, it was a straight drop. There was nothing down there. Neve really had to convince me to jump. I mean, really, since I was convinced I'd break my neck. Which is pretty funny in hindsight when you consider Neve as a halfling, so arguably they took the bigger fall and came out fine, but I digress. The infiltration was a success. Now all that was left was to stuff our bags full of pastries and baking chocolate. Oh, and our mouths too, of course.
The back room of Emily's was basically just a studio apartment with bakery equipment shoved into it. 3 big ovens on one side, counters and cabinets full of boxes and jars, an icebox big enough to lie down in and close the lid, bags of flour and sugar that were easily twice the size of Neve. Neither of you were familiar with the actual process of baking, so you have no idea how lucky you were that the work staff had just shoved the trays of leftovers from the day's business into a corner under some napkins instead of having to dig through cabinets of flour and other inedible ingredients. Neve stuffed a room temperature cinnamon bun into their mouth and then began shoving handfuls of other pastries into their bag. And you do a brief sweep of the inventory when you find your favorite, a pair of red dragon fruit jam rolls.
Oh, N's face lights up at that. They grab one and eat it almost on reflex, just like, oh, thank the sovereigns.
Yeah.
They're all this stress.
It's been, you don't even remember, maybe years, which is a lot for a 9-year-old to consider.
Yeah. eternity.
I think it's been an absolute age since you last tasted the sweet, cinnamony, spicy taste of red dragon fruit jam. It is so good. Even though the pastry is like a little hard and a little stale, for you, this is the best food that there has ever been.
Yeah, that absolutely snatches another one and like hurries over to wherever Neve is. Like,
Neve, you've got to try this one. If you like cinnamon, you're gonna love this one.
Neve like gives you a little look and goes, okay. Grabs it and takes a bite. Just gets jam all over their like cheeks. It's like, whoa,
Right?
this is really good.
Yeah, I used to come here all the time with my mother and papa, and they would always get that at the end of our shopping trips, and it was the best. We're gonna take them all.
and it's gonna rush back and throw them all into their bag.
Yep. You do a thorough job. I think, and you also like, okay, well, they have to put the sweet stuff in the pastry somehow. So you go and like you find opened jar of jam somewhere that's like only been partly used. It's like
Mine now.
it's like a 2-pound jar of jam.
I
So
know.
it's hefty when you throw it into your bag.
I'm just imagining, you know, in Lilo and Stitch, when Lilo has her nose up on the counter and it's reaching over it. That's just N reaching for this thing
Yeah.
and like swiping it, sliding it like a cat, pawing at something
Yeah.
in the bag until they get it.
Yeah.
And then they almost
Yeah.
brain themselves with it.
Yeah. Neve is like fully walking on the counters in their little scrappy shoes.
Mhm.
Just like they've
Emily washes the
scrambled up.
counters.
They've like scrambled up and are like passing things down to you from cabinets, like bars of like solid baking chocolate, whatever candies they can find, just anything and everything that looks like it would taste sweet.
Mhm.
You leave all the flour alone and the
Like-
bags of sugar, though I do think Neve like does chomp on like a full sugar cube at one point.
and just stares at them bewildered, like,
What's that like?
You want one?
and looks over their shoulder like someone's might catch them, but like, well, might as well. So yeah, that'll shove a whole sugar cube in their mouth.
It's very crunchy and like there's a reason most food is not cube shaped. Which is to say it kind of like the angles are like not pleasant.
Yeah,
You end up holding it like in your mouth and waiting for your saliva to dissolve it, and then it's actually quite nice. It's like a weird boiled sweet, except not boiled and very crunchy.
it's a whole little face journey for Anne.
Yeah.
Like weird crunch, and then just like a pause.
Pretty good, right?
Yeah, I mean when it kind of melts in your mouth.
Okay, so after clearing out as much as you can carry, I think at one point, like, you realize, like, you can barely lift the bag, and you're like, oh, we have to stop now.
Hmm. Disappointing.
I think once like Neve got N into stealing, they like really
Yeah.
took to it. Is all I can
Yeah.
say.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I can just have all this? I can just take this?
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
Baby's first crime.
Yeah. I can just eat this? I don't have to ask my parents for it? I don't have to worry about budgeting? Okay.
Truly, it is like your wildest dreams come true.
Except for the fact I'm not strong.
Yeah.
Oh well, I'll
Yeah.
just have to eat a couple more pastries to lighten the load. Sacrifices we make as criminals.
Yeah. Yep. Neve shoulders their huge bag and is like,
Okay, that should be good enough for now. We still have to get through the vent.
the two of you both look up at the ceiling
Huh.
where the vent is. Like a full 8 feet above your heads.
You know, I do recall saying it was pretty high up, but I think I was kind of hoping they'd have a step ladder or something.
Aaron's gonna try and stretch as tall as they can go, but they're a 9-year-old and a halfling, so it doesn't get them very far.
No.
He was like, maybe we can push something over there?
You look around and like all the counters are built in. You definitely aren't strong enough to like pile bags of flour high enough to get up there.
Oh.
Neve sort of
Looks at me.
scratches their head.
Neve, what did I say about jail?
Give me a minute to think about it.
Can we stack the flour bags or something?
Can you lift one of those things? Because I can't.
I was kind of hoping you could.
If Umi were here, then... Oh,
Neve sort of like starts scooting around and eventually finds like a little sort of side window, and basically like it's barred from the outside. It's one of those like grates to prevent people from breaking the glass and stuff like that, but they managed to like crack it open and like hiss,
Umi! Umi! Umi!
And like shuffling in underneath them, peering up. Fidgeting.
Neve whistles loud and shrill. And then you hear,
Hello?
there's a sort of hurried, rushed conversation. Neve says,
Give me your hair clips.
And tilting their head, watching this, watching over their shoulder in case some apparition appears to bust them.
Uvida says,
Okay.
and like a second later, you hear a loud ping ping as the hair clips go flying in through the crack of the window.
What? Neve, we can't stand on those.
Neve says, check the door.
And like goes diving to find where the hairpins fell.
Check it for what?
And says going towards the door.
Does it open?
It's a door!
And still going
Is it locked, I mean?
and examines the door for like a keyhole.
Well, it does have a lock in the handle. Do you want to try and open it?
I mean, I might as well. I'm here. Give the doorknob a rattle.
Fully locked. This isn't even the like front door. This is actually, yeah, this would be the back door that you were trying not to use.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't imagine you guys would be trying to go through the front of the shop.
No. That's where most of the people are, the bulk of the people.
Yep.
Okay, well, it's a door, but it's a locked door. So no, it doesn't open, Neve.
Neve pops up next to you with hairpins in hand and says,
That's where you're gonna watch and learn.
they like scoot you over, like basically shouldering you to the
Mhm.
side and start fumbling with the lock. I'm going to roll for Neve.
All right.
Oh. First Neve roll. +1 for baby. Yeah.
Oh, God.
Whoa!
Whoa! That baby's good at picking locks, I tell you
Hell
what.
yeah!
Lockpick baby.
Oh my God.
That's my sibling.
Oh, baby! Oh, man!
They basically, like, pry apart these bobby pins and with a speed and dexterity that you have never seen before, fumble around, and then suddenly the lock just clicks open. It's like magic to you.
Yeah, and his eyes light up as if it were.
Whoa.
The second the door swings open, Neve grabs you by, like, the wrist and is like, come on.
Not even okay.
And we'll stumble along behind them.
And you basically bolt out of there as fast as you can. Umi, Chester, Becca, they all, like, grab you and start running wildly until you head all the way back to Rattlestone. You have no idea if anybody is chasing you, but you act as if you were.
Yeah. Well, I think halfway back and kind of panic starts to devolve into panicked laughter and then actual laughter as the further we get without getting snagged.
Yep. You basically make it all the way back to the orphanage. Wildly heavy bags on your backs, filled with smushed pastries, bars of baking chocolate, and whatever else sweet that you could grab.
Yeah.
And that evening, Neve calls everybody in, like, your dorm to basically a feast after lights out of just the most sweets anybody has ever had. Neve is like a friggin' Boromar Capo lording over the rest of the orphans of like, here, partake of my generosity. But like in baby voice with baby attitude.
Yeah, I think this is the first time N has kind of gotten involved in a group activity among the orphans. Up until this point, they've been pretty much keeping to themselves, quiet, off to the side. But it's hard to not be part of this when you partook in stealing the goods.
Here's the thing, Neve talks you up as well, your involvement.
Exactly.
Like, they're basically, like, retelling the story of the heist as, like, dramatically and embellished as possible. Everybody is hanging on every single word. And Neve, like, pulls you in briefly, like, arm around the shoulder. It says,
This guy here, N, is the reason we got out of there.
That's just like shy smile, little wave at the other kids. Probably blushing at this point.
and ever since then, you two have been thick as thieves. Or you were.
We were.
We cut back to the ephemeral chaos. The crew, Varys, Luca, Willow, listening to N as they have told this tale.
What note does N end on?
I think N's kind of wistful as they finish up the story, but you can see as they come out of their reminiscing and the laughter that's been bubbling out of them as they tell the story, the weight of reality kind of settles back in and they grow a little bit more sober. as they talk about, how close we used to be. We once were.
Figuratively sober, of course. They're still drunk.
Not drunk anymore.
Oh, yeah. Drinking.
Yes.
Emotionally sober.
Yeah. Sobering up from the cute little story they just told, with the reality of, we used to be thick as thieves, but now...
I don't understand that expression, thick as thieves. You have to be pretty smart to steal stuff, I think.
Different sort of thickness, Luca.
Tight, close.
Oh.
Thick like porridge.
Oh.
While you're talking, Willow's pouring everyone a glass of water, I think, for this one. Look, their mind went to a million different topics while En was talking. There is En's always like dragon fruit jam. Ha ha ha. Always hungry. Has always been a hungry little guy. Oh, the memory of, what is it? How En must have reacted to Damon. The memory of how En reacted to the news of Willow having a brother. The memory of En recently going to the post office and coming back upset. The memory of En lying about the Boromar clan. Willow was sitting there kind of quietly, like listening to your story, certainly, but also like computing. And their face by the end of the story is like a bit... But they're pouring the water now, and then they'll raise their glass. A toast. To the cutest bloody story I've ever heard. We'll raise for all you guys.
We'll smirk and we'll clink.
Yeah, everybody cheers.
Young pirates. We'll end up like the clink is young pirates.
Can you be pirates without a boat? Did you kids have a boat? Did the bunk count as a boat, maybe?
I mean, some days.
You had a boat some days?
The bunk counted as a boat some days.
Ah.
Pretend. With imagination.
Mm-hmm.
We were orphans. We didn't have much else other than what we stole.
I imagine no one in Shan had access to boats.
We're near the water.
Really?
Yeah. We're a port town, technically.
Oh.
Port city.
Right.
But we're not pirates, no.
No.
I mean, okay, Willow was going to... No, Willow's not going to say it. There's a low mumble of like a actually building with Willow, but don't worry about it. I'm not thinking about it.
They don't need to know the realities of being a port town.
No. It's about the realities of being a pirate, but it's neither here nor there.
Oh.
Anyway, you might have noticed a name was missing from that little story. We got Neve, we got Amita. Saren didn't show up until sometime into our teens. I kind of undersold him, actually. He wasn't just a member of the Goldfangs, he was their leader.
Can I do a history check?
What is a gold fang?
You can try and do a history check.
Yeah, I'll let Willow do the history check.
If not, then yeah, we'll just ask.
Luca's good at just asking.
Yeah. Cool, 13. It's about as much as I expected.
Yeah, on a 13, you don't... The meaning... The word Goldfang has no historical meaning to you. The DC for this one is very high.
Okay, well then we're looking to En.
They were a gang in the Gate of Gold district, which is a slum. And laughs a bit at the thought. They like to play themselves up as this really dangerous, really violent and ruthless gang, but really they were just defending their turf. And by their turf, I mean the community, the slum, keeping out worse people, worse criminals. Thought it
And they were
check
like
something.
Knights defending their home.
I guess so. Well, that puts me on the wrong side of history, because Neve kind of ended up in a gang war with them.
hold on, sorry, before or after the... Willow makes like a gesture like, before you guys were a crew. I'm assuming before.
Oh, no. After, well, Sarah, no. Me and Neve, we were, then crosses their fingers like tight.
Oh, no, Sarah.
Sarah, yeah,
Sarah
no,
and
we didn't know Sarah, we just, wrong place, wrong time, and they took that as a threat, the Goldfangs, and one thing led to another, and suddenly Neve's gang and the Goldfangs were at odds, which was very bad considering, Saren is an elemental cannon of a man. He was pretty much born throwing chaos bolts. So, you can imagine that did not bode well for us.
Okay, things together here. Willow gives an expression of, hold up. 2 questions. Gang, as in, is this your little crew or something different? Neve's?
Neve was always jumping between different groups of people. Neve, friend of all, didn't really stick to one particular gang, and I was also loosely associated. I pretty much just followed them wherever they went. And Neve was running...
Neve, singular, yes?
Yes.
Okay.
There's a lot of things flying around. Neve was running this particular gang at the time, so they had the call on how this little skirmish would go down.
So, okay. So Willow's saying, wait, okay. So Neve is the... Alright, so less of a gang involvement, more of a wherever Neve goes. You follow, and Neve ended up somewhere with
seems to follow
beef.
as well.
Neve is simultaneously the most unlucky and luckiest little bastard I've ever met.
They say that about all
something's
halflings,
running the
don't
family,
they?
it seems. Willow's going to ask second question. Elemental cannon of a man, do you mean that in the marked way or in the attitude way?
Attitude. I mean, he was
Or the
born
body.
born with magic sparking in his fingertips, but not because of a mark. He was just angry and makes gestures. Had power in his hands from a very young age, so you can imagine how that manifested.
Was choking down another, also runs in the family apparently. And all of the through lines with their crew are just like continuing to connect like little spider webs in Willow's brain.
Click, 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 click.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff clicking into place. And just so we know, just in meta, so Neve had beef. Neve's gang, air quotes, had beef
At the time.
with
Specify
Saren's.
that at the time.
Yeah, at the time.
Saren.
Had Saren's former gang at the time where Saren no longer was with them.
No, Saren was the leader at the
Saren
time.
was the leader.
At the time.
Yeah.
So Saren and
The
Neve
leader
were
at the time.
were in a gang war against each other.
Yeah.
Before they
And
were
they were all
Yes.
like
Teenagers.
15 to 17
Yeah, I was gonna say.
at the time.
right.
How
yeah, so
serious
just-
was this gang war? Is it like you know,
jazz clicks across
jazz
the...
clicks? Yeah.
No,
like,
it
no,
was
okay.
serious.
Yeah, no, I can imagine. Okay, so Willow's putting it together against... So they became friends after the gang war.
Yeah, well, Neve never
Did they
wanted
become
to.
friends because of them?
Neve never wanted to fight the Saren. Saren was the one who wanted to pick a fight. Neve thought Saren was a bunch of wasted potential. So, Neve roped me into it. I helped them out, and one thing led to another. We almost got blown up, and then Neve showed Saren the way.
Willow's going to pour another glass of... Oh, wait, raise the same glass to defanging the gold fangs. Clink.
Something like that. I think really we gave them more fangs because the whole thing was that Saren's gang, the Gold Fangs, were They were powerful, but they weren't very good at arranging plans for their hits. They would steal shit from other parts of Sharn, right? And then bring it back to their community, which, again, a slum had nothing. But they weren't very smart about it, and I said...
nice. Willow jokes towards Luca.
And makes a face like, And Neve thought they could do so much better, so Neve, because Saren wouldn't listen, showed him. And the rest is history.
Okay.
Probably not the best idea to call yourself Goldfang.
Because the
If you
metal
want
isn't
to
very strong.
Hmm.
It's more based off the fact that the gang itself was based in a district called the Gate of Gold.
I mean, if you're going to make gates, you'd want something stronger than gold.
That's probably why it's a slum now, huh, Luca?
I think that's more socioeconomic than metal of gates.
It makes a face. It looks like that's a big word.
Luca like big whoop for Elmo. Willow squints scrutinizingly at you, and then
I think Varys busts out laughing at that. Because it shocked me as well, so I'm gonna say. Just like, he's been like listening chin in hands with a fond expression, like watching N light up and talk, and then this happens and he just like laughs.
Okay, so now that we've established that,
in any case, the casino part, where did that start happening?
yeah, so we got Umi, we got Neve, we got Saren eventually. A few years down the line, I got my hands on a building that
You just got a building?
I had connections at the time. That's not the important part. The important part is...
Insight check. And you can't just tell me all these things and expect me to put pieces
Wait,
together.
yeah, I'm gonna just also...
The insight check is more for your mood when you say it.
Mhm.
But things are connecting on my end.
20? 30?
Ooh.
Oh, hey. Goddamn. I'm an open book tonight. That's a 9.
Yeah.
Anne is deliberately brushing that off. They don't want to talk about that part.
Oh, that's okay. Well, I have enough in my artillery to get a stomach drop at that. Anyway, carry on.
So I acquired a building, or it's in Sharn. It's more like a room, a venue, and I gave it to Neve, and they turned it into the Keen Whistle Casino. It was a dream of theirs to. They always liked games, right? So they always wanted to open their own casino, but orphans, right? They wouldn't have been able to afford a venue without debt and other things you really don't want to get snagged up on in Sharn. So I pulled some strings and clasped their hands, bada bing, bada boom, casino.
Lucas smiles a little bit. Isn't that cheating with a halfling at the head of the casino?
What does Luca mean?
Like, if the person who runs the casino has a magical kind of luck on their side, doesn't that mean that the people who come to the casino will always lose?
I do want to say, halflings have a reputation for being lucky. It is not literally a mystical luck thing.
Maybe where Luca comes from, they think it is. Who knows?
Everyone
Or
looking at
maybe
you
he has
confused
another
again.
reason to think that. Who knows?
Well, and puts up their finger. That was part of the draw, you see. The Keen Whistle Casino wasn't just a casino. It was Keen Whistle. Part of the draw was getting to come there and challenge Neve, Keen Whistle to a game and see if you could win, see if you could best them. And it's got a big grin on their face as they're talking about this.
Luca already looks like he's planning it. I'm good at cards. Could win.
You can try.
Well, I think you're being hustled presently, Luca.
Oh. Looks at N.
And
Kind of
gives you an
like,
innocent face. Like, I
Are
would
you
never,
hustling me?
I would never do that to you.
I thought we were friends. Friends don't hustle friends.
Willow's brain has skidded off towards Tassie and playing dice after, and coming to their boat and playing cards and dice and that stacky Sean dice game that you taught us after the murder mystery, and there's just all this other stuff just dum, 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 like continuing to click into place in the background.
So Neve has a big reputation in Jean.
I don't know. And pauses.
Are we gonna get there and then be like, oh, you should check out this casino?
It depends who you ask.
What is a casino?
How do you know what socioeconomic is, but you don't know what a casino is?
I don't know. I don't know anything.
It's a gambling house. Typically,
Okay.
you play against the house to win money.
What is
Most often
gambling?
the house win.
You've done
You know
it,
what gambling
Luca.
is.
Luca.
You literally
Okay, he's
did it.
playing with that one. He's playing there.
Anyway, after Neve established their casino, ended up hiring Umi as the bartender, and Saren became the bouncer. He's damn good at it too.
Can imagine.
Lucas, what's a bounce?
Willow gestures at Luca. Doesn't elaborate. What was the clientele there? I don't think I'm fully familiar with the lay of the land in Sean.
Well, it was in the lower districts. So, not an upper ward kind of place, or even a mid ward. It was. Neve like to call themselves a big fish in a little pond. They were well known in their area, but they weren't interested in competing with like the casinos and the Dragon Eye.
I think the camera sees a little hazy golden memory of the Keen Whistle. The name in neon illusory lights. This crowded, noisy room with a couple of poker tables, a couple of slot machines, a bar, large half-orc woman with long black hair and little sideburns, polishing a glass in her nice, a little shabby but like nicely kept collared shirt and black waistcoat. The sort of relaxed but always watching dangerous attitude of Saren, this half-elf sorcerer leaning up against the wall near the door as people come in, and Neve, brightly dressed, beaming, rolling a silver piece over their fingers as they like entertain basically a full table surrounded with drinks and cards and poker chips changing hands. Noisy, warm, fun.
Yeah. The clientele was friendly. Sure, you get a couple stinkers once in a while. That's what Siren was there for. You get a couple people not happy with their loss. You get a couple people who get too drunk. You get a couple people who think they can push their weight around. But Neve liked to run a pretty clean joint. Didn't like the drama. Didn't like getting themselves too deep in organized criminal bullshit. Gets in the way of the fun.
There's just some toes in criminal organize it.
It's kind of
bullshit.
it's kind of expected when you run a joint like that you do have a room somewhere where unsavory sorts can go and hash things out. So naturally, Casino had one of those, but it's not exactly something Neve invited.
I think Willow's paused to look at you for a bit. And feel free to make an insight check on Willow, I think, if you want to.
Sure, if Willow's being quiet.
Just observing.
16 and 20.
Dirty 20.
I'll roll a Persuasion for N.
Patrick Persuasion.
Patrick Persuasion! Wow, even when I roll really high, I just can't do it.
No.
Willow's... I think you see a similar look as when Willow could tell you were hiding something when you spoke to me about the Boromar clan.
Mm-hmm.
Willow's going to try and shake it off a bit, though. So, did you ever beat them?
Oh, Neve? Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
of course.
Well, we played all the time. So eventually I learned their tricks. They're the one who taught me how to keep a poker face, and then they lived to regret it.
So now we know who to blame.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. They were pretty much the only reason I survived after I became an orphan.
Okay, Willow's going to pour another beverage. This one will probably be alcoholic.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to nod to N. They're going to nod to N, actually, to lead it. But they kind of know what, like, they're implying of, like, you know who to toast to in this regard.
Then we'll take the glass and raise it. To Neve Keenwhistle.
To Neve Keenwhistle.
To Neve Keenwhistle.
And takes a kind of sip of the drink. Places it down. Their thoughts kind of drifting a bit. Speaking of the district the Keenwhistle was in, did you know the Snapdragon Theater and the Keenwhistle Casino are in the same quarter of Sharn? Memphis. They're 2 districts and an elevator ride away. It was literally a 30-minute walk away the entire time I was in that theater. They probably heard about the fire one way or another in newspapers and patrons. But I have no doubt that the Snapdragons covered it up so much that... Even if anything did come out, they wouldn't know. Neve wouldn't know. It'd be another incident on a night like that.
Okay. Small computing moment. This seems to imply that... Do we know if they'll ever met Neve as characters?
I believe only Elsa knows that.
Yeah.
Because timeline-wise, I think Willow's like, so we know that Thale worked at the Snapdragon?
Yes.
Yep.
We're in the mood. We're in the spirit of sharing, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think Willow will ask. Did Thale ever attend the casino?
No.
When's the last time N did?
6 years now?
That's quite some time.
Yeah. After I escaped the theater, all I wanted to do was run to that casino. But I couldn't, because what if I brought danger straight to their door? Or what if I just disgusted them after what was done to me? And swirls their drink a bit. I remember feeling like if they rejected me then, and I would just break. Throws back their drink.
You know what? Before you manage to throw it back, I think Willow clinks your glass, says nothing, and also throws back the drink.
Oh, good sign, good sign.
Yep.
Okay. I see you, Jenkins.
I see you too, Green Whistle.
I kind of look at Varys and like, wow, what a depressing table, because we're all in that position, or have been at some point in the past. Yeah.
When Varys said 6 years, I'm like, ah. You know what? I think Willow's gonna do a table-wide wordless clink.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone just somberly throw back your drink.
Can't wait to go home and have my family reject me.
Oh my god.
Yay.
Well.
So, seeing as I couldn't go back to my home, I just ran after the incident. Like I said, I ran and never looked back. Like I said, I tried not to even think about them. So what if my mind got right again and the Snapdragons picked Neve as a new victim, or any of them? The first thing I did when I read Alonzo's thoughts deeper was check if he knew anything about Neve. And, well, he knew that they were associated to me, but I didn't pick up any evidence that they'd done anything with that information. And, well, and holds up the folded note. I have confirmation they're alive, so...
Well, that's good news, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, it's good news. Because I would have felt pretty fucking stupid if being so convinced that the Snapdragons were only chasing me, in that blind panic, I overlooked the fact that they could have just gone straight from me to the Keen Whistle. That only dawned on me more recently after I realized all the Snapdragons hadn't died in the fire, and that they're based in Sharn. They weren't chasing after me across the ocean, across Khorvaire. I stayed away so long thinking the danger was after me, only me, and now I know the danger's living right under that casino. A million fucking eyes, planning who knows what. I thought I could keep them safe by staying away. For 5 fucking years. But really, I just abandoned them there. And takes another
Varys
drink.
puts a hand on your shoulder and says, "You didn't abandon them. You did the best with what you could at the time. And if they are who you remember them to be, then I'm sure they're just worried about you."
And places down their drink and looks down at the empty glass now. I could feel how much how angry she was. And gives an apologetic look towards Willow.
No worries, raises their hand, like, don't worry about it, sipping their drink.
How much she would do for her brother, and how much it hurt to have someone disappear on them. And I know that it's not equal, but and rubs at their head.
No, I'd say that the threats, which Willow gestures at Varys. Do you have any idea? Do we know if Varys knows about the Beholder?
And it's hinted at it, but I don't think they straight told Varys.
Yeah.
No.
Willow kind of gestures at Varys, like, do you know what this is about?
The cult that ends in...
Sure, yeah, that'll do. What was I trying to say?
Dark's like, what do you mean that will do? But doesn't actually say that out loud.
Yeah. Willow will continue. It's different. And I know you're not saying it's the same, but you have had a significant reason to stay away, and honestly, your time abroad only proves that perhaps, well, certainly you had something to be afraid of. And only now, in accordance with good timing and bad luck, are you somewhat equipped to actually go back and not immediately perish.
One can hope.
That's the way things are going.
Yeah.
You are significantly stronger now than you were even a few months ago.
And you have Willow.
And you.
Among others.
Yeah,
Willow
Varys.
looks at Luca. And a humongous bodyguard.
Yeah, Varys.
Varys rolls his eyes.
Yeah, I already told you I intend to go back, and well, on the list is visiting, and waves the note in the air, the casino that's still standing.
And taking all of its money.
Willow says quickly while looking blasé, did you send a letter?
And gives you a look like, I
Willow's
don't,
looking down at the table,
I don't
like,
know.
what about it?
That's a stab in the dark, mister. It feels, doesn't feel right to say I've been laying groundwork. I sent a package. Neve's birthday is in a couple months. I've missed 5 birthdays. I'm not about to miss a 6th. So I sent them a gift. But the note attached is anonymous.
So Willow's making a face. I'm gonna just give it to you. Willow's low-key holding back on a laugh.
Mm-hmm.
They're just like lips pressed into a line, cheeks sort of gently expanding.
What did you send?
A pirate hat and some playing cards. Yeah, Neve's gonna get a lot of mileage out of that if they don't think it's booby-trapped.
A threat?
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Here,
Neve, open this box. Sender, no one.
it's got a return address on it. I'm kind of...
Oh yeah, no one has
To
ever
where?
faked one of those before.
To where?
Our P.O. box.
Oh. Smart. Odd, but smart.
They can't know I'm alive. So this is my only option.
Of course. Yes.
Until we get to Sean and put you in a box and give them the box. And then you come out of the box.
I believe I come out of the vent.
Yes.
We'll put the
Covered
box
dragon
in
fruit
the vent.
jam and yes.
And then kick it out of the vent.
Kick it.
Stop,
And
you'll
it's
be
still
in the
small
vent.
and squishy.
Yeah, but the box has something soft, I assume.
It's a
I guess
laundry
me
basket.
inside it.
You are in the box with them? What kind of
Yeah.
box is this?
That's
And
a
what vents could it
big
matter fit in?
box.
Very big box.
Make
We're-
a new vent before we go.
Okay, I will invent a new vent at this venue.
A vent?
Hmm It will be an event.
And takes a drink.
Thank you for venting. And
Wow.
No, boy, you're gonna get a lot of mileage out of that one, aren't you?
I'm glad you no longer circumventing your feelings. Does that work?
Luca looks at you like you've just made the best magical pun in the world.
Willow looks expectantly at Varys.
And looks pleadingly at Varys.
Varys just quietly sipping his drink like, get vent.
Well. I'm glad you told us about your
Events?
long-lost sibling.
Well, after I listened to Emma for a little while, I figured it was going to come out sideways if it didn't come out this way.
Hmm.
Yeah, sorry about that.
That's fine. I knew what I was getting into.
How tall is Neve?
Not very.
They're
I
a
assume.
halfling, so...
Yeah, right. Another person will be shorter than I expect.
Well, Varys looks at Anne.
What?
Could technically show us what they look like.
And, like...
If you want to.
and
No pressure, no
eyes
pressure.
darting.
It like gives you that look of like, oh shit, is that gonna make you? Are you gonna puke again? Are you gonna vomit again? It's got that like mentally reaching for a bucket. Oh, like the first part of your story. The first part of the story. You just told us that part of the story.
Maybe later.
Only if you want on.
I can show you
Probably
the height.
If N doesn't seem like woohoo, I will, then like we won't. But
Yeah.
You've met halflings before. They're halfling sized.
teeny tiny.
Yeah, I need to make up for it with their personalities. See, I'm not necessarily sold on the idea that they're going to immediately take my personal as a threat, because I need to make friends with everyone.
Oh, are they used to getting presents?
No, they're not used to it.
I suppose at worst it'll be a riddle, which is fun.
I mean, that's my
And-
hope.
It'll still be a
Makes
riddle
sense.
after they open it, because they don't know who it's from.
But it's like this will be a riddle because N's fucking been disappeared for 5 years.
So do you know anything else about how the casino is, or...
Well, I've got a contact in Shard now that I have been using as my eyes on the ground. I've only gotten a couple messages back from her. I sent a letter to her as well to kind of feel out other options, further options, what she's capable of getting me.
Did that letter have a hat too?
That was just a letter. But I did promise her that we would get her lunch, I believe, when we were in Sharn, if she's interested. So, remember that.
A hat's basically an upside down bowl, so.
Your mind is truly a wonder, Luca.
Thank you.
But, yeah, as far as the sending message I got back about the key whistle itself, it's lively, but in need of some repairs. Now, it is a lower district venue, so that's not so unusual, but my mind went in a million different directions about it, of course.
If Willow used sawwood to repair the casino, could we make the casino float?
I think there'd be too much weight from the other towers on top of it.
Oh, that'd be a fucking sight. Game Whistle Casino up there with Skyway.
Think you might get the wrong kind of clientele if you did that.
Oh, probably.
Lie and tell?
Oh.
Okay.
They say true genius is never appreciated in its time.
Willow's gonna clink glasses with Luca and laugh and drink. I feel like that's like a transition sentence.
Yeah. I think everybody needs to make a constitution check for sobriety.
Hell yeah.
At this
That's a
point.
a dirty 20, baby.
Hey. I'm gone.
How you going, girl?
Oh, me too.
Oh, and
Hey, buddy.
Varys is tipsy, but like still holding it together. Willow and Anne are getting a bit schwasty with it.
Yeah.
I think
We held it together
like,
from top
there's
end, and now
a
we're just like,
I think there's a slight lapse in conversation where like Varys criticizes Luca for his terrible jokes. They're not even really puns, they're just saying words that sound
it
close
makes sense
enough.
because the clientele has to fly to get to the casinos, or they're the fly-intel. Whereas the clientele that walks in wouldn't be fly-intel, would they? No.
What say you now, Greenleaf? Yes, a point.
I think N starts going on a drunken, tipsy kind of ramble about. They go into more detail about the gang war between Saren and Neve, and basically how they won Saren over was Neve was finally able to make Saren laugh.
Aww.
And since then, Neve is about the only person in all of Sharn that can make that sourpuss laugh.
Oh.
Challenge accepted.
Oh my god, that's so funny. What'd you say Saren looks like?
Half elf, got tan skin, dark tan skin, a little scar on his lip, and dark black hair kind of pushed back.
Is he cute? Is everyone in the crew cuteness on the cuteness meter? You know?
It depends who you ask. And says, and they grumpily sip their drink.
What about this
I'm gonna
Umida?
Sorry, I'm insight checking N's grumbliness, but I think I'm at disadvantage, yeah?
Yeah, I'm gonna do it too.
Yeah, I'm gonna say
I suspect-
you're approaching poisoned.
I suspect too. Oh my gosh, that Willow's got that. You know when you like rest your cheek on your hand, and then it's sort of slowly melting down the table
Yeah.
until the point where their cheek is on the table, and they're just like listening and quiet most of the time, and rolling like shit on my insight checks.
Should I roll at disadvantage? Something too?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, you should.
God, which one? Imitation or deception? I go with deception because I think it's funnier for what's going on here. Well, it's not a nat 20, but it is a
Holy
17. And he's grumbly about something, but your drunk ass can't tell.
Varys is also going to make an insight check just in case.
No.
So sorry, King.
Yeah. Umida. Like I said, she's a gentle giant. She's massive. She's huge. And looks at Luca. I can't tell if she's as tall as you or taller.
Oh, I hope she's taller.
Yeah. She's
Seems like that'd be a disadvantage in a halfling-run establishment.
Oh yeah, funny thing there. She's pretty accident-prone because of her, and makes a wide gesture like, she's big, she's big, she's big.
She's a brick.
Ow.
Wall.
She's very big, very strong, and tends to be just a little bit unwieldy. So, you're not wrong, but remember how I said Neve's the luckiest bastard in Sharn? When they hang out, it's like they cancel each other out. It's really weird.
Aww.
So, that's how she stayed the bartender. Couldn't have any other job because she kept getting into trouble, not because she wanted to, but just... She's simultaneously like really big and then nobody notices her. I think I saw the two people carrying like a window, and they like tried to carry it through her, and the window just and makes shatter fingers. She's super durable though, so like I'm pretty sure her back was turned, and she kind of only noticed after the guys walked past her and started yelling. Pretty sure she got stabbed once, and it's like showed up, and she just seemed mildly inconvenienced. Talked about putting a guy in a dumpster.
That seems fair for a mild stabbing.
Yeah. Long story short, she wasn't really a troublemaker, but she tended to get into trouble. But she also didn't really care. The size and the strength kind of made
I
nothing.
suppose when you're... It's hard to threaten somebody who can physically put you into dumpster.
Yeah, which was most people, even when she was like 13.
Oh my.
Yeah, so...
And she's the one who threw you both into the vent, right?
Yes, she was.
Okay. Well, I have a question. Speaking of canceling things out, Emma seemed real mean. Is Coulson real mean too?
And looks at Willow melted on the table.
Willow's literally like their hand is still up, like elbow still bent, but their face is just flat on the table. And like after a moment's silence, they look back at Luca. Talking to me? Is Coulson mean?
Do they have like a mean siblings kind of thing? Because Anne and Neve are troublesome siblings.
And flashes a drunken grin.
I mean, the Bright Wind stole an airship, so they're also trouble. And yeah, they're mean.
I think it might be...
In the way that you're mean? Or...
Yeah.
Am I mean?
Because you're kind of mean too. So are you the same kind of mean as them?
Probably.
No. Willow's disrespectful.
I think
But
stealing an
that's no
airship is
surprise.
disrespectful.
You're rude. Beg your pardon? Stealing an airship is disrespectful. Willow sits up.
Yeah, but wasn't that the intended effect?
I suppose it depends on what your litmus test for respect is and who you're giving it to. Disrespectful as a neutral phrase, then I suppose disrespectful to the powers that be. Which in some cases is the only respectable way to be, if you're not an idiot.
Here.
Willow.
No, they don't balance each other out. Well, no, I wouldn't say plans better. She's a bit more grounded in reality. You know what I mean?
No.
She what's the word? Intimidated me more than he ever did when I first arrived. Much as he would try to. Well, not really try to. He tried to. Anyway, it's not about that. Well, just like a head in their hand again. Balance. It's not always about balance. Well, yes, it is, I suppose, about balance.
And smirks a bit and sips their drink.
Different ways to balance. You know, if Coulson's like, I'd like to go to that mountain, and then Emma's like, okay, and then I'm not explaining this very well. He totally slumps back
Why
onto
would
the
you
table.
go to a mountain?
Well, you have an airship. Why not go to a mountain?
We go over the mountain.
Emma would figure out how to get there.
Okay. Is going to a
You know.
mountain an unreasonable ask?
I think at this point, Willow, you just like get caught up on the, well, it depends on the mountain. And actually, it's not that great for an airship to go at too high an altitude. Not only because like it requires much more power to sustain flight at a thinner atmosphere, but also because it's a risk to the crew's health. And usually we just fly around the mountains.
How's the socioeconomic stuff going for you now, Luca?
No, yeah. Literally, Willow cheek on the table, just like rambling Wikipedia entry of why it's not a great idea
To land on a mountain. Yeah.
And pouring everyone another round of drinks.
Oh wait, I have another question. Was Coulton always a skirt chaser, for lack of a better phrase?
Skirt chaser. More like a trouser traveler, if that's what you want to say.
And bounces their brows like,
Have you?
I didn't know if that was a recent addition to his, you
No.
know, what's the phrase?
No.
Dramatic personhood?
No. No.
Varys also shakes his head. No, I think that's been his reputation as long as he's been a pirate.
Mm-hmm.
If there's two things you should know about Coulton Brightwind, it's that he's an excoriate of Lyrander who stole the first airship, and that
He is a trouser traveler.
I don't want that to stick. Please keep that
He's,
out of your mind. I don't want you to say anything either, old man.
See, this is what I mean by disrespectful.
Varys has plenty of experience.
Beg your pardon? Well, it looks at you.
Anyhow,
Well,
Coulton Brightwind is his...
liberated young man.
He's wild and gay and free.
Well,
Active
that's-
social life.
right?
right?
Yes.
That's a polite way of putting it.
and
Yes,
drinks.
I'm very polite.
You've lost Anne's interest, look. But yes,
Oh, I'm
there's
sorry.
yes, it's the case. Trust me.
Inside check on that drinking.
I
This
was
is the
rolling.
second time that you've drunk at the mention of...
Oh, I'm gonna roll.
My head's on the table.
I keep almost getting nat 20s or nat 20s for this. Oh,
Okay,
no.
never mind.
Good night, secrets.
Okay, Emma is mean. Willow is mean. Coulton is mean. Is Emma's partner mean?
Oh no, Mag's nice.
So there is some balance of nice people to look forward to meeting.
Well, you met Orkan. He seems nice.
He's a recent addition. Is he part of Coulton's
What?
active social life?
I don't know.
You did not
Luca.
get that impression whatsoever.
Yes, are you going to ask that?
Yes.
Okay, Willow says, I don't know, Luca. You tell me. You're the one that spoke to him.
Luca has a
Makes a
thing.
face.
No.
No.
And no, I don't suspect that anybody aboard Coulton's ship is involved.
In his social life. Oh, that just sounds mean. He has a social. He has friends.
Did Luca not remember the part where Orkan said that he doesn't have any friends?
Oh no, he doesn't have friends.
Did you tell Willow? Actually, no. You to tell. Actually, no. Willow's like, you're the one who told me he doesn't.
Mm.
Put the pieces together, Luca.
Mm. His sister is his friend, though.
That's a sister. It's different.
Maybe.
It's
At least one of
different.
us poor bastards has a sibling around. Sorry. Willow gestures at N.
And shrugs. Sips their drink.
I might.
Willow flops on the flopped on the table. Willow continues to say, "No, it paints just a very sorry picture of his social life, but at least he's having fun."
Hmm. Fun is nice.
Somehow feel like if we approached Coulton Brightwind with pity, he'd have us strung out on the yardarms.
Willow looks flatly at, flips their cheek over to look at Varys. Whatever gives you that impression.
I don't know.
Flat knowledge of you've met me.
Yeah. Varys sipping his drink like, I don't know. Trying stuff.
But Willow is. Oh wait, pity. Not. I thought you said disrespect.
What, pitiful?
No, I just assumed you were disrespectful to him.
Who, Coulton?
Yeah.
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 Duh.
Yeah.
Face down on the table now, just muttering stuff. With like you hear vague like smatterings of like, it was very disrespectful, sabotage, just bloody ass shit. Blah, 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 blah.
I think
he
Varys
cute?
like puts a hand on Willow's head and ruffles their ears in like a sorry for your lots kind of way.
Is Luca still asking
Affectionate.
questions? Oh,
Yeah.
And gives Luca a bit of a look like, have mercy on them. Look at them.
Is he cute?
Oh God, Willis springs up. Are you interested? Why are you asking me all these questions?
I just want to know the people around you. If we get into a fight, I don't want to be disarmed by handsomeness.
A real risk for Luca.
Oh, that's why I told you
But
not
it's
to talk
also
to
one of
anyone.
my advantages.
No. What? Appeal. Willow laughs.
I've turned some heads on the battlefield before.
Oh yes, obviously.
Luca makes a snapping the neck gesture.
That's so funny. Willow winces a bit at that movement.
Yeah, and brow furrows and they lean away from Luca a little bit.
Thought it was funny. Sorry.
Willow gestures. Yes, he's good looking. I have faith in you that you'll manage to control yourself. And yeah.
Do glorious battle if the need arises.
Oh no.
Hold your own in whatever
What's-
situation we find ourselves in. Ideally,
man
not
what?
combat.
Willow just, like,
Varys, yeah.
the last thing that really does, like lean across the table, elbow on the table, like pointing at Luca. Just don't.
I wasn't not doing anything. I didn't say anything yet. Sorry.
Yeah.
Varys is like, are you following this line of questioning because you're regretting not making any friends in Scairn, or?
Oh no, I like knowing what to expect. I like imagining things. Since I don't have fun stories to share.
Now stick with me long enough and you will.
You can turn me into a criminal though.
Oh, that's where all the fun stories come from, Luca.
No, I can be a good boy and be a I don't have to be a
That's what I
criminal.
thought too, if I was shoved through an air vent and shown the way.
Big to go through an air vent.
Don't have to use the air vent. Apparently you're going to make your own vent or just hurl yourself through the window.
Luca's like contemplatingly looking at the window now, like, yeah, maybe.
And also squints like, is the window in the Keen Whistle Casino big enough for Luca? Tries to mentally measure it up against Umida.
Probably not.
If he like curled up into a cannonball, could he like bust through? This is not how I want to make my grand return to the Keen Whistle Casino. It is cannonballing through the window.
Riding side saddle with Luca busting through a window.
I could just use the door.
At least ride it, asshole. Imagine it's like Luca kind of jumps through the door in the window in like a balled up formation and spreads out like a Pokeball, and N jumps out of his grip.
Oh my god.
Springs out.
Yeah.
You guys are mentally like, you guys follow this train of thought of silliness.
While you guys are doing that, I think Willow's gone from like head down on the cheek to just like face down, like head down, thumbs up style on the table.
Yeah, and it's just drunk enough to start musing about this ridiculous concept.
out loud.
Yeah.
Couldn't Willow do that thing with the Varys gestures for the vortex warp?
Oh,
Oh,
I
true.
haven't seen them do that, have I?
Willow's
Oh, yeah, I
going
did.
to
In the
at
in
once.
the bar. Yeah.
We saw
Did
them
you see
bar-
me? Because you were busy.
Oh yeah, no, I was busy. I haven't
You were
seen
busy.
you use that.
Literally,
Yeah.
bro. Willow right now is going to vortex warp you onto the deck.
Oh. And Luca just like falls onto his ass because there's no more chair.
You just hear the distant, like Willow pulls their firearm out of their pocket, looks up, without looking up, gets you, then looks up and aims you outside the window so that you land on the very like front of the boat.
Luca, do you just choose to fail the save?
I think it would be funnier if he did. So
Yeah.
He's like, oh, what's
Yeah.
this? Accepts it, gets warped
yeah.
Womp.
to the funk.
You just hear the distant wow from Luca.
Yeah.
Oh, that might work. That's certainly a flashy way to make my appearance. Which-
Lies on the deck.
Luca probably feels a bit queasy, by the way. Like he's spun, like he's fully spun. Willow, I think in the attempt to spin the weapon back into their pocket, drops it and it like clatters on the table.
And claps.
You alright there,
Everyone's so
Luca?
mean. Everyone is so mean to me.
Willow puts the head back down.
I'm gonna come in slowly, queasily.
Welcome back.
You know, I could throw you into the ocean without needing a spell for it if I wanted to.
Oh, that's why you're designated vent hurler now.
You might need to toss Willow into their hammock in a second. Looks like they're about
Yeah.
to fall asleep.
Come on, big guy. Papa Luca's gonna take you to bed.
Oh my lord, did you say that out loud? Willow reels so hard, like, do not touch me when you say stuff like that.
Yeah. I'll usher Willow to bed or
No,
outright
don't
carry
touch-
them.
Me. Willow's not going to let you. Willow's like waving their gun at you.
Okay. Stop. That's dangerous. You're gonna shoot me.
I don't even have any energy left for it.
It has arrows.
And a wand from the looks of it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Takes it delicately out of their hand, puts it on the table.
No. Will, you don't touch it. Willow pulls it back.
Oh, okay. I don't
Good.
touch it.
Holsters it into their pocket.
Hmm.
So Luca reaches out to try and touch the gun, touches Willow's shoulder, question mark, as they shuffle around.
Holds her shoulder, grips it a bit. Forgot how skinny you are. Surrounded by sticks.
I mean, me's short, but you're not a stick.
No, wait, they're stickish. Look at them.
Willow is, said Neve.
Excuse
Ah.
you.
Short, like
I was
twig.
saying, I feel like Luca's like idea of what stick is going to be wildly like
Yeah.
carnage
Yeah.
by his
His beefiness.
yeah.
Where I come from, they build them big.
Yeah.
Why'd you say it like that? No, but yeah, Willow's me.
Are they wearing their jacket?
Yeah.
Okay. Come, guys. We should go to bed so we don't throw up on each other. I don't know what pirates do when they get drunk.
Not
All kinds
sleep.
of things. I imagine.
Heists. into bakeries. Imagine poor Emily coming in the next day and finding all of her baked goods gone.
Well, kind of impossible considering Emily's Bakery is a chain of bakeries, so that the titular
there's
Emily
there's not one Emily.
is
If
likely
I
not present.
I would make sure there was an Emily hired in each bakery. I think that would be interesting. Emily. You can get a
Every
job there.
bakery has a changeling with the same face and the same name.
Yeah.
That's like one of the staples. I should open
Does
a
that
bakery.
not sound like a good idea?
It doesn't sound impossible as a concept. You go to the Dragon Eye district, you'll find something like that, I'm sure.
Emily?
Changelings running a chain.
Changeling.
Yeah, I saw that coming.
Bedtime,
No.
listen. Good idea. Bed is a good idea.
Are we doing what?
Stuff it. Who's gonna find us, Emma?
If you guys
Everyone
can.
sleep.
Can your steed do the watch? And we'll just call it a night off.
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was Luca yawning.
Will and N hear
Oh
that
my
from
God.
downstairs because we've already begun trundle lower deck, and we just hear that. Good thing we left.
Will is drunkenly setting up all the security stuff again.
Luca's going to check on his elk and his little plant guy. Say goodnight to them. He says
Yeah.
goodnight to the plant every day.
Oh, he
Gives
would.
it a little kiss on its leaves.
Oh.
I think N has pulled out their big traveling backpack, and they've dug deep into one of the pockets where they've been keeping all this time the mostly uneaten dark chocolate bar that Luca gave to Kai, technically, for their birthday, and just had that squirreled away in there all this time, except for I believe Luca made Kai eat one of the squares at one point.
Yeah.
But the rest of it has remained intact. And pulls it out and kind of looks it over, turns it over in their hands. And they've been saving this, they've been holding on to it. Same way that they held on to a chocolate bar in their bug out bag after they left Sharn. I don't know, it feels like they've been holding on to this one in the same way, like as a surrogate, as a replacement for that one connection to Neve that they had in their bug out bag. They've been holding on to this stupid little chocolate bar for dear life for that reason. But tonight, they're gonna eat it.
You remember when, on that night in the orphanage, you passed out the baking chocolate and it was so much more bitter than any chocolate bar you'd eaten before? It was still so good because it was stolen with your new best friend.
Yeah. And we'll eat the whole damn thing and then go to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna have such a tummy ache.
Small price
That's
to
what
pay.
you think.
Can N change their stomach into not having stomach pains?
No.
Ah,
I can't change my internal organs. I could just
Yes.
reorient them. Well, I'm sure
we'll get
if
the eye on that.
I'm sure someone will have something to say about my internal organs at some point.
They're my favorite internal organs
Thank you, Luca. I'm going to sleep.
because they let you stay alive. And that's my favorite.
Thank you, Luca.
I think Varys is sort of lingering upstairs outside, just drinking some water and looking at the sky, sort of just catching some breath. As Willow finishes up their security measures. takes you a little longer than usual just because you're fumbling.
Fishdog trying its darndest to help me. I do think the sea air though does help a bit.
Yeah.
Wait, you're saying Varys is out here doing what? Looking at the sky?
He's just
at the sea?
yeah, he's just chilling.
Sweet. I can't tell anything from looking at him. Oh, wait. I think Willow on the way past. Going to bed soon?
Oh, in a bit. Just catching some fresh air.
Willow's little ear flicks and they sort of back up a little. Was the drunken pirate bonding time everything you wanted?
Think I'm a little out of practice.
I was racking their mind like, are you sounding soggy or is that just Varys' voice? He gets wistful sometimes. I don't know if this is like a whist of...
It's more on the wisty side of things.
Wisty-eyed. Feeling wisty? Queen Weef?
Does Willow say that out loud?
No. God, no.
Willow throws themselves over the deck.
No. I think Willow backing up will... Sort of, lean... They've done this to End before. Lean sideways over the boat to look at Varys' face.
Hello? Something on your mind?
Something on yours?
Oh, just... the alcohol's hitting me. Reminiscing a little.
Oh, shit. Willow's like, make flip book images in their mind, starting off slow, like soggy paper, and then getting like really crisp. So they go back to like what we asked Varys. It was about Rhaegar mainly. It was about his time with Rhaegar, and then that was kind of it, huh? It was about him coming back, and
yeah.
We only really talked about that point in time. Well, Willow's been reflecting on all these things and really put them in the headspace for reflection, and then I guess Luca bombarded me with questions as well. I think kind of out of yeah. Okay, Willow's gonna say, suppose we've been focused all on one person that means a lot to you and sort of overlooking another, huh?
Varys pauses and then says, it's somewhat easier to focus on the present, isn't it?
I'll say. But in the spirit of reminiscing, Willow glances over at Varys.
Varys raises an eyebrow like, are you going to ask the question?
Oh, I guess they should.
Neutral but, like, expectant, I guess.
Yeah. Willow remembers they apologized for not asking this before. Actually, they ran to his house, had a breakdown in front of him, and then apologized for not bringing this up earlier. As they are. Been thinking about the lighthouse?
Try not to dwell on it too much, but...
The keeper.
It's come up now and then.
Come up like a thought, or come up the way that End's history came up?
Like a thought.
What's on your mind, as the Green Leaf would say?
Or just reminiscent to when life seemed a little bit simpler. I'm sure I had problems at the time as well, Oh, I know I had problems at the time as well, running a ship and crew and making ends meet as a trade vessel under the Sea Dragons. But it seemed simpler at the time, in retrospect.
Yeah. Suppose time doesn't move backwards at all for any of us.
I suppose.
I've described it before as a cart hurtling forward. For a brief amount of time, I thought that maybe resurrection was something that dented that, but that's not really the case. It still moves forward now, just with new information. You know.
I'm
It's not
afraid I don't
going
follow.
Backward. A tactless too to talk about resurrection at a time like this. Pardon me. Sorry. Really, donks themselves in the head a little.
Varys just, reaches out and pats your shoulder. Come sit.
Okay, well, I will join him.
He just invites you to sit, shoulder to shoulder, companionably.
Yeah. Willow, I think, tries to steel themselves again, oh god, why did I just bring up resurrection to Varys? Merildian out here enjoying her resurrected boyfriend, meanwhile Varys, why did I say that? But it's okay, muster it up, harden up, you're good. We spent plenty of time tonight reminiscing out loud. You can feel free to reminisce out loud if you'd like. I'll listen.
It's hard to know where to start, I suppose he was a bit older than me, but not that much older, and I was used to being around quite loud people. Part of the occupation. Part of the life. But he was a little more quiet. Good listener. Duncan. Obviously, I still miss him sometimes, and I still fondly remember the times we had together, but I think I've reached a point where I've outgrown the grief a little more.
I think Willow sort of peers at him. Not surprised, but maybe a bit that's more... Okay, no, they can't really muse on that for too long. Never mind. They'll nod. I see. I don't want to say that that's good to hear, but you do deserve the closure that would allow you to do such a thing.
Yeah, that's a word for it. I'm very much at peace. Well, as peaceful as you can be about something like that.
Willie gestures vaguely to the crew, to the cabin. Peace is good. And hard won, apparently.
I suppose the thing that's on my mind now is more... Not that it's over, but that some things haven't changed. If you know what I mean.
Willow squints. They have the impression. Is this about what they were squinting at him about Ryga before?
Yeah.
Yeah? I didn't roll well
Yeah.
on insight, but Willow was getting some pieces from him.
Yeah.
I think Willow's gonna sit back, arms folded. You're in love with Ryga?
Varys like splutters and is like, do you have to say it like that?
Oh, sorry, am I wrong?
Well,
Willow's asking that like genuinely, like, tell me, am I wrong? But they're also like, don't think I'm wrong.
you. You're not that wrong.
The wording then, there is, well, of course there's love for Ryga, but affections, let's see. Amiable feelings.
That's an understatement.
Ugh.
Well, how?
No, I mean, sorry, I don't mean to fluster you. It's just, well, you just give off an impression.
I thought I'd be a little better at concealing it, but well,
Some things are obvious.
I suppose so.
Or I'm very
Yes,
perceptive, so don't see it in that way.
I don't think you're the only one that has noticed.
Go toss ahead.
It's well, yes, I've had a word crush is too juvenile, but a long-standing love for Ryger for many years. You know, I thought I'd moved past it when I met Duncan, but, well, the more things change, the more they stay the same, I suppose.
That's tricky.
It's not that tricky, really. He knows. He's known, obviously, for a long time. I was his first mate. But,
Was it,
well,
pardon me for asking, similarly pardon me, let's try that again. Similarly, whoa. Willow laughs. It's like
You're drunk.
gestures, yeah, vaguely to like making a cup motion, like no. Similarly perceptive, similarly obvious, or did you Willow winces at him? Confess.
I'm sure the two latter, but yes. Well, hardly needed to say it.
Yeah, he seems like I mean, sorry, you carry on, you talk.
Anyhow, it's one-sided, and I'm not complaining about that. He's not one for that kind of entanglement, let's say.
You, however, seem to be nothing but entanglement.
Okay. Well,
I'm kidding. I mean, it's not a bad thing.
No, it's not.
You seem... Willow tilts their head. Satisfied?
I think of it as another facet of my admiration for the man.
Willow said
What's
satisfied
that?
like a question mark, and to try and sort of glean more of like how right, how wrong, where he's at with regards to this. Willow gave him the dignity of calling it love and not saying, you got a crush on Ryga? But no, it's worse than that, I sense.
Yeah. A crush can be pretty bad.
Oh, yeah.
Crushing,
Yeah.
even.
Tell me about it.
So on that 21 insight, I think like as he sort of talks about it, and it is very much like the thing that's catching him now is not that these feelings are there because they've been there before. It's more like, oh, they've come back just as strong as they were back then. And it's like, whoa, well, gotta deal with this again. It's not that it's not something that's like putting him under distress, you know?
Yeah.
It's just sort of another thing you have to deal with.
A
You
thing that's
know.
always there.
Yeah.
Hanging out the washing, having a shower, washing my hair, I'm in love with Ryga, going for the day,
Yeah.
going to Orthos, figuring out everything's happening.
Yeah. Basically.
Yeah, like it's
Basically.
one of those. Yeah, Willow sees it. Not to sound like you or anything, but do you have any plans? Anything to do about it, rather. Plans are a me thing. I think you are more of a... I don't know.
I suppose the only plan I have is to live up to his expectations.
Huh. No long con? No outcome in mind?
Varys shakes his head. No. That ship has sailed, let's say. But that's not a bad thing.
Willow gives him like a scrutinizing side look. Like they're just trying to figure out where to go with this conversation.
But enough about me and my feelings. I'm on a new adventure and got a new crew, so who knows who or what I'll meet along the way. Right?
Yeah. Willow would clink a glass with him, but they don't have one, so they're gonna shake his hand. I believe we said something about becoming legends of the Thunder Sea, and legends meet people. And
Certainly.
impress princes.
Speaking of impressing princes, seems like Emma held high expectations of you.
Well, I used to be better. If that's what you're asking.
I imagine being injured and all that would rust up the gears a little bit, as it were.
Aptly put.
Certainly I'm still shaking off my rust.
Looking shiny. Yeah, well,
That's thanks to the polish. He sort of elbows you a little bit.
Willow feels so vindicated, by the way, for their plan to make Varys the most, like, freaking impressive guy at the airship underground, like the elemental vehicle building scheme thing that Ryder has.
Yeah.
So I feel so vindicated for that. I'm a little bit proud of her. So you know what? They'll take that little elbow. Indeed, I am polishing you up rather nicely to be the most impressive student at the students. Pardon me, force of habit. The most impressive worker at the secret industry.
Sure, repairing the Kraken Slayer will put another feather in my cap. Although the credit does probably belong to you.
The credit will belong to the crew. We'll all be working together and doing our part. However, I don't really want them to find out that you are Varys Greenleaf of Ryger fame.
Oh no, I'll keep a low profile. I'm good at that.
Yeah, but your beloved will find out about your task in this. Sorry. They laughed at themselves like so, leaning into nicknames so fast. You can boast about it later.
He shakes his head. This is what I mean by disrespectful. Soon as you're comfortable with a guy, start calling him an old man and all sorts.
Teasing him about his crush.
Does make me wonder. I'm seeing more of the pieces now, but they don't all quite fit together. So, if you're amenable.
What's he vibing?
He's wanting to ask you a few more questions about your time as a wind whisperer.
Willow's going to tilt their head slightly. I'll show you mine if you show me yours.
Sounds like a fair trade. And we zoom out. And we just hear Varys' voice say, I've shared plenty about myself. You first. And that's where we will cut on a private conversation between Varys Greenleaf and Willow Jenkins.
I'm finally getting my Ryger secrets! Or just some various tales of affection, but whatever. Like,
yeah. Would somebody like to roll for weather?
24th, finally?
It is.
Hey, I'll roll.
And you roll.
Yeah.
We've been on the 23rd for like 6 days. 16 pages of books.
13.
Okay. Cool. Would somebody please roll me a d10 and then a d12? So
I will. And then Sarah can do the d12. I rolled a 7.
D12. I rolled a 12.
Ooh, okay.
Congratulations.
In which case, Luca, you wake up early in the morning and head upstairs outside. It is cold and brisk in a way that feels very familiar and very strange for this time of year.
Mm-hmm.
You can see as you walk out on deck, there's just like a little bit of frost from morning dew on the ropes.
Mm-hmm.
Strong winds, cloudy skies. Cold air is refreshing to you.
Yeah. I think I will practice some magic today. Yeah? Yeah. Is that what we're thinking?
Yeah.
Yeah. Am I successful?
Yeah. You've been sort of on off watches when you haven't needed like much spell power on the day before. You've been practicing your find steed spell. You don't need to recast it every time, but you've been sort of experimenting with it a little bit. And today you have a bit of a breakthrough in terms of what you can do with it.
It's early, isn't it? How early is it?
I want to say about 6 a.m.
What time do we get to sleep?
Probably around midnight.
Oh, am I going to have to wait, or should I go be excited with people?
Well, you do know Willow is usually an early bird, so...
I think I will poke my head downstairs and see if anyone is awake.
I did come in late and feeling the effects. So I don't know if I'm early birding today.
Yeah.
I think Willow and Varys specifically are going to be like out.
Yep, just a bit.
And slept early, than us.
Yeah.
I hope.
But N is also a night owl.
Yeah. Look, out of habit though. Unless you want to roll for it.
Yeah.
Initiative.
Willow, do a constitution check. Flat. You are no longer poisoned, hopefully.
Wow.
Sick.
You're very asleep at the moment.
Yeah.
Okay, then. I think in that case, I'll go back out on the deck for a little bit and, work with my steed. It doesn't really have a, bridle or anything, so I might try to make one out of some rope on the deck.
Yeah.
I know Willow always keeps rope around, so...
Yeah, definitely you can make, a loose halter for your steed, for its new shape.
Yeah. And then I think I will try to go and make a breakfast that will take time to keep me occupied, let's say.
Yeah. Willow, make a perception check.
Wow.
Whoa, nat 20.
You smell bacon.
Willow sits up before they even really know. I think with a tummy rumble.
Yeah.
Of
you got that. I drank last night, hungies.
Munchy. Yeah.
Willow
sits up.
I need grease in my body right now. I need fried food.
Yeah, I do think as well, as soon as Willow sits up, they're like, bacon! And then, in their mind, oh, I had a very long conversation last night with I'm gonna get out of bed! It's just one of those. And so...
I need to not think. Food, food.
It's one of those, I didn't even think I would fall asleep last night. Why did I go to sleep so late? Oh! And then, okay, I'm gonna go get ready. And, pop up above deck. And see
His
what
head
doing.
snaps to you.
Whoa.
Morning.
Willow doesn't say that out loud, but they do flinch back down the stairs. Hi.
Sorry,
Am
it just
I
wasn't
on something
No, no one was awake, so I'm just surprised that you're here.
on my boat. Yeah. Intensively.
Really? How interesting. I'll keep a note of that. Hungry?
I rolled a 16 to see what's wrong with you.
So much.
One dice could not contain.
Let's go. Let's see. Ooh, Luca is... Yeah, I got a 15. So Luca is excited to talk to you about something.
Me specifically?
Yep.
Oh, Lord. The kind of thing I should be nervous about or the kind of thing I should be excited about? Oh, God.
He seems excited.
Yeah.
Okay, he's excited. Okay, so it's not a bad thing. Okay.
No, it's I saw something very cool, or I have something very cool.
Okay, Willow
share.
tilts their head slightly.
Hungry?
What? Sure. Excited?
Shrug.
Coy.
Luca doing a coy little shrug, I don't know.
Willow says coy.
No, it's bacon. I don't know if you can eat koi. I assume you can. It's a fish. You can eat most fish.
I see. I forgot those existed.
Oh. I know some
They
fish.
tend to be... koi are freshwater, so...
Yeah. No, Willow thought it was just a joke, but no, that's actually a clever joke. Like, koi are fish. Yeah, makes sense.
He's clever sometimes.
Yeah. Willow gave you
Anyway.
Lucas says about himself.
Luca gives you like basically it's bacon and toast fried in bacon fat
Mm-hmm.
with like some fruit and dried fruit and nuts and sort of thing. It's a good travel breakfast.
Nice. Willow
It's
would
so
want
tasty.
Willow would want him to eat too. It's not they're just going to stay.
Oh yeah, he's gonna eat with you.
Okay, good. All right. Usually we'd wait for the others, but not today.
Yeah.
Let them sleep.
Enjoy the early morning sunrise and eat the breakfast.
You see the food go down Willow's gullet in a way that you don't think you've seen them eat before.
Yeah.
Like that triangle of toast is gone in 2 mouthfuls.
Wow. I hope I didn't upset you with anything I asked last night.
I'm gonna be honest, I hardly remember.
Good. I was a gentleman the entire evening, so and no one can prove otherwise.
Willow's trying not to think of the night before, but I think mostly they just remember Luca being curious and maybe themselves even being a bit defensive. That's probably what they took from the night before.
I'm gonna make an insight check on Willow. That's a 12.
Coming from the local I roll 0 club, don't
That's
lose
true.
faith.
Oh
See?
yeah, 8. How you feeling?
What are you trying to
How is your mood this morning? How are you after everything that happened yesterday?
out running again? They just woke up and they're hungry, and you can suspect the usual amount of like, I don't want to think about it. I just want to eat my breakfast.
Yeah.
I want to see how long of my morning I can have before it starts going downhill.
Yeah.
Or uphill. Things might be good.
Yeah.
Things could go up.
And I do think that the conversation with Varys has left them in a little surprise that they're functional.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So neutral, hungry is probably what you're left with.
Hungry.
I'm glad I made a
very
nice
focused on
breakfast.
getting that toast in there.
Mm.
Soaking up whatever remains of the alcohol from last night.
I think Willow will say, like, after a mouthful, just say, I'm thinking of starting training today, so maybe if you have any ideas. I have ideas, obviously, but I'm sure you have some thoughts on how to conduct that. I guess Varys would too. I suppose it could be a collaborative effort.
Well, I know you were teaching Anne kind of defensive maneuvers, and Varys was focused on like dexterity, footwork. So I was more focusing on honing instinct and intuition. Did you want to?
I mean, for everyone. Oh, okay.
Oh, did you want to like collaborate on a lesson plan for Anne? Is that what you were asking?
For all of us.
To do what?
Learn.
Oh,
Group
I need
training.
to train. Willis, I
Oh.
need to train. Emma outclassed me immediately.
well, she was angry, so that tends to either sharpen or dull a blade. It can go either way. And
Willow
hers
tilts
were
their head at Luca.
quite sharp,
I was also angry.
and yours were dull. It happens.
I don't think feelings are what's going to push us over the edge. At least it shouldn't be. I'd like to train. I'm asking your counsel if you'd give it.
I'd be happy to. It's the one thing I'm good at. Well, no. I'm good at many things.
Mm-hmm.
Like making breakfast.
Yeah.
So are you going to show me
gives-
the thing you're excited about, or
Have you finished eating? What makes you think I'm
Hello.
excited to show you something?
Your wagging tail.
Looks down at Willow. Looks up at Willow.
Willow finishes, polishes off their meal now.
Mhm.
Okay, we do have to wait a few minutes. So,
Willow
What
starts
kind of
looking
things?
around now. They're musing.
what kind of things do you want to learn with sword training?
Well,
or
I just like
weapons in
to
general?
improve my strength overall, I suppose. Willow's looking around the room in a way like you suspect there's a surprise party or something happening. Like
Make a
musing.
perception check.
I'd also like to make an Arcana check. I rolled
Ooh.
a 23 on perception. And a 24 on Arcana.
Holy shit! How do I stop them from noticing?
Well, here's the thing. The thing you notice is an absence, which is Lucas Steed is nowhere to be seen aboard the deck.
That's suspicious. We're still idly talking. I'd like to just improve my overall skill. You asked a lot yesterday. Willow keeps looking like is the elk gonna jump scare me because it's done this before.
Maybe.
I haven't competitively, or rather honed my skills with the sword since my time. Well, I suppose Damon, but my time aboard the Storm Chaser. So
Did you have any formal training before that, or was it just with them?
books, then Coulton. That's about it.
Books can only get you so far in something physical, unfortunately.
Yep, that's what he said.
Oh, are we alike? Is that why you're friends with me? You like big, strong, handsome men? Oh wait, no, he's not. He's neither big nor strong.
Well, he's
Handsome.
strong.
No,
You don't
But
need to
compared
answer
to
this
Luca,
question.
but compared to Luca, nobody's big.
Okay. No, yeah. Willow is going to say again, relatively. You are speaking from a very different vantage point than most people. He's like this. He's about this. Willow gestures vaguely to their own height.
Does he use a sword?
Yes, that's. I've told you this.
No.
What?
Oh. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Luca looks away.
What? Oh, I hate you. Oh my god.
Well, did he have formal training?
Yes.
You said they went to the naval school. Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Mm,
He's the son of the Lyrando. Yes.
right. God, how long has it been since we ate?
Willow's like looking at the clock on the wall, like if the surprise wants to happen anytime now.
I think you might as well go now.
Yeah. Okay. So Willow, why don't you come with me so we can escape this conversation?
Oh, thank goodness. Willow just stands.
Luca. Oh, take off your jacket.
Willow gives him a look.
Luca's taking his off as well.
That just makes it worse.
He puts his over the back of the chair and then looks at you like, you gonna do it?
You're not going to show me your sword, are you?
If you want, I guess.
Stall for longer. Stop. Willow takes off their jacket.
Oh, let's go outside. Go outside.
Yeah,
outside.
it's gone. We're gone.
We're going.
You both head
You go-
outside onto the deck. It seems like Luca's proposing a swim. It is quite brisk this morning. Warmed up a little bit from when Luca woke up, but
Okay.
Willow squints. Swimming.
So, waves his hand a little bit. I know that previous actions haven't really earned me the right, but can I ask that just for a little bit you can trust me?
16 inside check.
What do you want? What do I do?
What the hell are you doing?
Persuasion?
Yeah, let's go persuasion. Oh, that's a 9. What do you want? What are you looking for? What are you asking?
You know what?
Luca is very nervously trying to
Facilitate?
do a trustful type exercise
Yeah, let's say that.
Okay.
as part of his
Swim.
No, yeah. Okay.
reconciliation thing.
Yeah, no, that's all Willow needs was an insight into what you're trying to persuade me of badly. Willow
He's nervous.
He's nervous. All right. At that, Willow relents and will nod.
Okay. So. I can pick Willow up easy. Okay, so just keep your eyes closed. Okay? Until you'll know when to open them. Yeah? And hold your breath.
You did not just tell Willow to close their eyes and hold their breath.
Punches you in the gut.
I hate this. Yeah. Okay. Sure, yeah, Willow said it.
Okay. Luca comes
You
up
can't tell if
behind
my
you.
eyes are closed, by the way, just as an aside.
Yeah.
No, I can't. So I'm also
You know what?
trusting you.
Willow's, you know what? Willow's gonna pocket their glasses then. Their eyes are closed.
Oh.
You can see that they're closed.
Yeah, so Luca comes around, stands behind you, and puts an arm around your waist and easily hoists you up. And after a few steps, you feel him step up onto the railings, and then we both just dive into the water.
The
Just before
water
you jump,
is
Willow goes,
brisk.
"Are you going to?" And then we drop. You aren't going to.
The water is brisk. Whatever warmth the morning sun provided all but knocked from your body as you plunged beneath the foam. You're immediately caught by the drift of a current, lazily moving away from Luca until you feel his hand on your stomach, drawing your back against his chest. Eyes still closed?
I think their eyes kind of opened when they go underwater,
Okay.
but they can close.
You see
really
nothing
don't.
immediate, nothing before you, nothing below you, the familiarity of a person behind you, and therein lies the trick, for Luca's body obscures the movement of a creature cutting through the water towards you. Its sleek, dark body blends in with the depth of the early morning water, but the piercing glow of reds and pinks are unmistakable. You feel the shifting of displaced water as you're caught up in its violent movement, and you're thrust forward, up, 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 until you breach the surface, the heavy, unfamiliar body of a hippocamp beneath you, and Luca holding you in place atop its back. You breach the water as the hippocamp whinnies Luca's magic steed in a new form.
I will say, in that little moment where it's like speeding towards me and Willow's eyes are not yet adjusted to the water, but they're open, in the same way of like quickly chucking on your glasses, Willow just gets them on, I think, before it takes us above the water. And it's that completely disoriented, like, what? But then also like, oh, but then also like, ah!
Yeah.
I think it just happened all so fast.
Absolutely.
Well, that was the intended effect.
Yeah. Oh my god.
This beautiful, dark and coral pink water horse bursts up from underneath you, carrying you and Luca safely on its back. And you go for a canter around the ephemeral chaos.
The main thing
The
is that
early morning
Luca
sun.
gives Willow the reins that he's made so that they can be the one in control. And he holds on to like I know on a saddle it's called a horn, but like the notch in front of the saddle that you hold on to. So he's holding onto that around Willow and letting them control the steed.
Bro, I will say Willow's shocked for a bit. I don't think they'd say anything. And then like when they can tell what it is and they can tell what's happening, they're excited. This is fun. This is cool. This makes a lot of sense. You recently just saw them. We stopped to look at them. You've absorbed information and you've made it into your... Willow's impressed. Willow's like, yo, I think it takes a little bit of adjusting, and then like as soon as Willow adjusts, they're off. Like, especially once you hand them the reins, I would say there is a little moment of like pause, perhaps even like a check. I do imagine that Luca's giving, I'm in part because I am avoiding looking at his face in the actual CG, Luca's giving like a disarmingly sincere kind of face.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Willow like checks as if to see like they got the right impression, like you're handing me the reins. This means something.
You can feel the body language of Luca behind you.
Yeah, cool. The ear does the little flicky thing, and then I think with that in mind, they will set off. Cantor really quickly turns into as fast as this thing will go.
The steed listens to Willow without issue at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the first thing Willow does say is, after we've gone around for a bit and they've got that kind of like breathless joy built up into them.
Yeah.
From like just what it feels like
racing around,
speeding around,
seahorseback, the foam kicking up like over your feet and legs as like you plunge through the cool ocean water. Luca's warm, solid body at your back, the warm, solid body of the hippocamp beneath you. It's all just very like, woohoo, sensation, excitement.
Can it do dolphin jumps? Like, can it go under and come over?
I think so.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I would say yes.
Hell yeah.
Its back half is a dolphin, basically, so.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. All right, well, Willow's going to give it a go. I think they're speeding, and then, like, without warning, they'll just go, hold your breath, and then, like, try and make it do dolphin jumps.
Hell yeah.
And I think, like, fully soaked and coming above the water again and laughing, they're going to mention, like, gonna need to update the saddle.
Well, what saddle?
Oh, you can keep a secret. Willow, like, ruffles its little fin bits.
The, like, steed turns its face and noses at your hand as you, like, pat it. And see the sort of blood-red gills underneath its neck.
Horrifying. In a very cool way. Willow's like, ugh, cool. Like, it's not your regular horse, but it works. Evidently.
Mm-hmm.
Willow's going to state, we have to show and Varys.
Well, I wanted to show you first because I thought you would be the least afraid and or upset by history with it.
Huh?
And you seem to...
I don't think it was... Can I go... Would it be reasonable for me to figure out how to bump the ephemeral chaos without breaking it?
Yeah, you can have the steed come up and just like nudge it.
Oh, I meant like a significant kind of nudge.
You want to ram it?
I want to rock the boat. Get those sleepy heads out of bed. Oh,
I guess
what?
The steed
Willow's...
needs to make a charge. Sarah, you're in control of that.
Yeah, let me get up this new character sheet.
You know what Willow's gonna do? Let the thing do the charge first.
Mm-hmm.
Charge? Yeah.
So I think roll an attack.
Yeah. The hippocamp moves at least 20. Yeah. So ram, I suppose. Yeah.
Yep.
That's a 21.
Well, that means
that
I hope
hits.
that it knows
Roll for
exactly
damage.
what kind of pressure. Okay, no, just kidding. I can fix it.
That's a
Yeah,
5
fine.
plus 2.
Wait,
Takes
plus?
an extra 7. 2d6 bludgeoning damage. Because it was a charge.
Okay.
Down a little.
It does not, the ephemeral chaos does not take damage because it is below the damage threshold. It is a structure. So it has
nice.
a damage threshold of 10, so if the damage is less than 10, it does not take damage.
Nice. And I will say, once it rams enough to rock the boat, bit of a risk, but Willow's going to take the whistle out that N gave us, and it's like a sing-songy whistle. It's not like a distress whistle. It's like a kind of whistle.
Oh god. And then Varys under the deck waking up as there's a sharp rock and then the coal whistle from Willow.
I'm getting mixed messages here because the rocking boat says we're under attack. The whistle says time to dance.
What on earth?
Oh.
Varys sort of climbs up to the deck in sleep shirt and goes, huh?
And rolls up to I noticed Luca and Willow aren't in bed, so I can only assume those chucklefucks have gotten up to something.
Wait, can we do a stunting kind of dolphin jump again?
Sure. Give me an athletics or acrobatics check from the hippocamp.
Both of strengths, correct?
Strength or dexterity.
Oh, yep. Okay.
Athletics would be strength.
Yeah. Go dex. 14.
Not bad. Not bad.
Do a significant prancy leap with Luca and Willow.
Holy shit.
That's new.
That's Luca for you.
Willow's like, good morning! Splashes back into the water, goes underwater.
And leans their forearms up on the deck to watch. The deck railing. The smirk. They look like they're having a good time.
Yeah. I think, Anne and Varys watch you guys, prance around on the back of the hippocamp for, 10 minutes, and then Varys goes, I think I'm gonna go have breakfast.
Luca did leave breakfast for everyone.
Breakfast and a show. And might go grab some bacon and come back out.
Just watch.
Yeah.
Willow's gesturing to N to come aboard.
Luca gives Anne a look.
And gives the elk, not the elk, but what was the elk? A look.
The steed.
Yeah, the steed. Is it gonna bite me?
Luca pulls at his ear.
And message you, is it gonna bite me?
No, but chat with Willow.
What?
I'm gonna have a chat with Willow.
Oh.
Yeah.
Then I'll stay here.
Make a deception check, both of you. Willow, make an insight check.
Can I make persuasion?
Should I make it at disadvantage because I am not paying attention?
Deception.
Yes.
Ooh, 10.
You are too busy being excited about horse.
Yeah, and will wiggle their bacon in the air. I'm still eating, maybe later.
Yeah, okay, cool.
We just have a bacon strip. Loose leaf bacon.
I would say good freaking loose leaf bacon. You're way with words. Big freaking nat 1 insight on my part too means also good luck, Luca, trying to get the conversation away from Willow talking about this. I think you overdid it in the sense where they're so excited to talk about what goes into the process of making this happen. How did you make this happen? How did you think this out? What was the design process behind making this?
Luca will explain if they want to ask a few questions.
They're gonna ask all of that. They're gonna also ask tell him the tactical uses of this. No more problems with sea leeches. We'll have the elk underwater.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah. There's not really much battle or logic advantage to having a forest creature on a boat. So
no, of course I'm surprised I didn't think of it earlier. Good thinking. Well, of course I didn't know the nature of your spell.
Neither did I. I've just been.
This is new?
Yeah, I haven't tried it before, so
And it's discovery.
yeah.
Giddy, 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 giddy.
Yeah.
Giddy up, even.
Yeah.
So they're in a good mood then.
Oh, they're in a very good mood. They're in such a good
I've
mood they
got-
kind of forget like there's problems at all.
I'm glad I read the situation correctly then.
Yeah. Willow loves animal.
Yeah,
Willow
I
loves
noticed.
riding animal.
yeah.
So I think
love
like
Thing that goes wrong.
you keep like riding around on this thing, and eventually it like starts being playful with Willow and like goes underwater and rolls you both off its back and like starts nosing at you like just big horseplay. It's like greedy for scritches now.
Oh, I'll sketch it. I'll sketch its head. Swim over and pat its head.
Well, since you're underwater now, you can see its whole body. It's
Yeah.
the front half is horsey and the back half is dolphinish, and it does have the sort of reedy appendages that you would expect to see on something that lives among kelp.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I think Willow's analyzing it. And for a sec too, underwater, when you see this thing underwater, I feel like it's scary. Like, you know, it puts that like
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
panic in your chest of like, that's a sea creature, like that's a sea beast, you know?
Yep.
But then in that same way, the same flip side of that panic is like excitement to know it and to study it. So you get that little impression from Willow that they're like kind of stunned by it in that respectful reverence way that you are with like anything that's
A large animal.
scary. Yeah. Scary in like a respectful way.
Yeah.
Boy, oh boy, that's nature.
I think
I
eventually
think the scariness of it is like wildly undercut by the fact that like it keeps like trying to like lip nuzzle at you for like
Yeah.
treats and stuff.
Yeah. Kisses. Horse kisses.
Yeah.
I do think eventually Luca's going to climb back onto its back and offer to bring Willow up.
Yeah, I think Willow's a bit more noodle-legged than they think because they haven't been, you know, they've just been racing around for so long without thinking very much about like themselves, also treading water.
Yep.
So I think they're probably tired.
Yep.
Maybe getting a stitch too because they just ate breakfast.
Well, the good thing is like the horse has been doing most of the activity.
Yeah.
Yeah. Luca like settles you in front of him again and takes the reins and kind of slows it down to a kind of, you know, that sort of sway that horses have, the back and side to side
Right.
kind of sway. And it's just sort of that, but also swaying, like moving side to side like a fish. So it's a bit of, yeah. Feels a little weird. Yeah.
It's odd. It's cute though.
Yeah.
How's
So he's
Luca's
holding-
arms?
What do you mean?
Where are they?
Oh, on either side of you, yeah.
Like holding?
One's holding you if it needs to. Yeah.
The long
Are you
pauses.
like fully noodled or like
No.
what type of noodle? Are you like cooked noodle
No,
or
just not sitting as straight, you know, like not sitting as actively.
No,
I
they're
do
like
think-
resting on Willow a little bit.
Okay. I'm asking where
I
his
do
hands
think,
are.
yeah.
On the reins.
Oh.
At this point,
Yeah.
he did like have you like held around like sort of the waist hip area
Yeah.
when
Oh, I didn't care when we were
first
speaking about
arrived. Yeah.
Yeah.
But at the moment, I think you're like mostly like back slumped against his chest.
it. Mm.
And yeah, if he's not holding the reins, which you might not now at this point, he's probably just holding onto that like plate of skin and bone in front of you that kind of
Yeah.
mimics the horn of the horse saddle.
Cool.
And he's leaning like a little bit around you.
Mhm.
And, you know, out of nowhere, as he does, he says, I don't want to be in your workshop as two different people.
I think it takes Willow a second to kind of think about what's he talking about? Oh, the story I gave him. Willow, upon clicking, because in what way?
It's kind of inevitable that I'll be like that for some people when I meet them.
Start from the top. Hey, you know what? What's N and Varys doing? Willow said start from the top.
I think N has gone to like one of the further sides of the deck now that they've eaten. So not kind of intrude on whatever conversation Willow and Luca wants to have with Willow. And they've taken out their own whistle and they've started just making little songs with it. So you just hear a distant like peeping while this is going on. They're composing.
Beep beep. Beep 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 beep.
And probably at one point just tries to whistle as loud as humanly possible with it.
You know what happens when you blow on a whistle really hard?
Yeah. Imagine while you're having this conversation, you just hear discordant peeping coming from the other side of the chaos.
Oh no, is N in trouble?
No. It's just like a
perking like-
beep, beep,
Yeah.
beep, 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 beep.
Gosh, I hope you're playing the first few notes of the end credits. I didn't even mean to do that, but I vomit. Oh.
So,
What's Varys? What's Varys?
Varys is eating breakfast very leisurely, checking the
his- how
charts
did
for
he-
the day.
Nice. How's he after last night?
Fine. A little groggy, thoughtful,
Nice. Cool.
doing well.
Okay. Did Luca want to start from the top? Willow said start from the top
Yeah. Okay.
because he said something about not wanting to be two people, and he's going to be like that for some people. But
So, I know that for many people, I'm going to likely be those two soldiers. I'm going to be someone who caused them a great deal of harm and then is now maybe acting as though I'm someone else entirely, apologizing for the mistakes of another. And that might be difficult to deal with in the future. But that's the reality of the path I've chosen for myself. But for people like you and Secret Elsa and Varys, I can just not be that. I can just be someone else entirely. Coming into your shop and not making a mess. And maybe it's because I have so little experience to draw upon. I've been defaulting myself to the perspective of someone who expects to be met with resistance or anger or just any number of emotions like that. But you've given me a lot of grace in allowing me to reflect on how you've been with me. And I've been misguided in calling upon instinct be with you. It's hard being around you sometimes. But
if I may interrupt.
Hmm?
What makes it hard?
well, sometimes you're very confusing. Sometimes you're very mean. That's fine. It's been happening more the more that I'm interacting with you and the others, looking at things that I might be expecting in the next couple of months. Even just yesterday was undoubtedly harder for you and N, but it wasn't entirely without discomfort, let's say. For me.
Do you know why I didn't want to go to Orthos? Other than all my own personal reasons. And I won't put this on you.
No.
I cannot think of anything more difficult than trying to figure out how to move without knowing where I've been. Well, that's probably incorrect on my part, because I can think of something more difficult, and that is my lived experience. But what I'm trying to say is, I couldn't imagine you dragging you all the way through my nonsense when you've hardly gotten grips on yours. And it will be nonsense.
Yours or mine?
Both. Want to hear a joke?
Yeah.
What's the difference between a warforged and a soldier?
A soldier has to eat. Wait,
Really,
did I get it?
Really rolls their eyes. Like, this isn't the kind of joke. Like, a joke is a setup. You don't know how a joke works.
What's the difference between a warforged and a soldier?
Well, you've ruined the punchline now.
Oh no, tell me. Do it again. Try again.
Luca, what's the difference between a soldier and a warforged?
I don't know, Willow. What's the difference between a soldier and a warforged?
Willow, smiles big and dumb at you. A warforged is free to have wants. Willow raises their eyebrows at you and looks, what's your face?
It was a smile, and it's just like, oh.
Yeah, that one's always mixed reviews, where depending on where I say it.
That seems like it would rely heavily on the audience.
Yes.
And there.
No one at school liked it either.
I didn't say I didn't like it.
You shouldn't like it.
Comedy is sometimes supposed to reflect real world perspectives, right?
Yes, okay. Very gracious of you. But you know what I mean by that?
Luca pauses to think. No, I've spent a lot of time on the other thing. I'm stuck in that workshop for now.
Okay. What I'm trying to say is, the answers are connected. The answer of what makes a kind soldier, it seems that you've come to a conclusion, which is to say neither.
Luca nods.
And my additional context for that would be, what is a soldier anyway? One of the first designs of war, I'd say. Designed without agency. Just enough agency to come back with minimal repairs required. Which is exactly the same as a warforged.
Warforged are more efficient soldiers, I guess.
Not necessarily.
Depends. In the same way undead can be more efficient. Or less efficient, depending.
Point is...
Wait. Yeah.
They can be warforged soldiers. It's a subsection, so to speak. Regardless of what they're designed for. But a soldier is designed to be a particular way. And that way is not alive in any particular way either. Do you understand? It's just enough agency to see means met. Just pieces on a board. So I can't be friends with a soldier.
But if I'm someone else entirely.
I'm always trying to think how to say this. You mustn't be a soldier because I'm friends with you. Right. Turns to look at him with raised eyebrows. Do you get it?
I think that's the main problem with us. you work backwards from the answer, and I have to start at the beginning of the question.
In all fairness, that's how most people do that. Willow turns forward sheepishly.
Well, Lucas seems fond when he says that.
Yeah, well, yeah, Willow doesn't look at your fond-ass face. What about it?
I think it just took me this long to accept the fact that I want you as a friend.
Good. You gonna act like it now?
I'm gonna make a sneaky little insight check on Willow. That's a 17. How do they feel? Oh, how do they feel?
Not
on
much
that
to
9.
say.
8.
It's waiting for you to arrive at the conclusion that they have already made a while ago. Just kind of waiting for you to catch up. Sounds a bit cold. I think in a way too, like there's the are you ready to act like it is basically like if you want to be my friend, are you ready to like, you know, not do the things that I don't ask you to? It's basically going back on that same whole conversation that we had earlier of like, is that enough to get through to you now? I think what you might get from insight over that persuasion is that this answer does matter to Willow. They're playing it cool and cavalier, but it matters. In a fundamental way, they could not get your answer to what was happening with Orkan without all of this. No, Willow's probably going to add to it, like looking at Luca and seeing that he doesn't know how to respond. Willow will say like, you know, I'll never deny a person in my court to keep me accountable if I'm making silly decisions. I would hope that you'd know that you can mention them to me, or that you can say it to my face if you think I'm being unwise.
I think you can literally see something click over in Lucas' head.
Yeah, and Willow's going to keep talking, I'd say, and say something like, I understand there's a contextual difference. What is the purpose of a captain, all of that thing? Captain's a job, Luca. If I don't do it well, I don't take the mantle. Easy. If I can't convince you to trust my plans well enough to actually follow them, I suppose I won't be calling myself captain anytime soon. Doesn't matter anyway. Point is, if it comes down to it, I will trust the opinions of my crew. You asked if you were, You asked if you're anything like Colton? When you don't listen to me, certainly.
Well then, shouldn't I be doing it more? He was your friend, right?
Willow needs you to. Willow looks over their shoulder at you like, don't play dumb.
It's an apologetic smile.
Past tense. Was.
I believe the not listening to Willow was what broke their friendship. Knocks on Luca's head.
Oh, right, yeah.
With little shoulder ends, like, son of a bitch, that's the problem!
Willow's going to say, it's difficult not to be listened to. I wouldn't put anyone in my crew through that. And I hope by now I've earned that.
You have.
I think Willow's rather quiet now.
Sorry for what I did.
Luca will feel the kind of like, it's a deep breath of, I think you can tell it's a deep breath of relief. I think they believe you more this time than last time you said it.
Okay.
And they're right to do that, yeah?
Yeah. Yeah.
Does Luca want to ask if he can hug Willow? Or...
Let me make a little... It's only a 14. It's only a 14.
I rolled the wrong thing. You win. Willow wouldn't mind a hug right now.
Yeah, I think he wants to. Since they seem okay with it, and he's already partway there, he will tighten himself around Willow. Put the side of his head on the top of theirs. I think they can feel him relieved as well.
Yeah. I
Kind of
think
like
it's
melts
oh, thank
into
God.
Willow a bit.
Yeah. Oh, it's like, oh, thank God. You said it. They felt it. You meant it. It wasn't like, I'm so sorry, I'll go die now. It was just like, I get it, and I'm sorry. And thank God. And there's that. That's the sigh of relief. Of just.
We figured it out.
We got there,
Got
guys.
it. Luca got
Home run.
You got it. You got it. Yeah, you got it. You
Yeah, I
understand.
got it. He understand.
Something even clicked at the last second there. I don't even know what that was, but something clicked. Oh.
Yeah.
And I think, actually, while we're hugging, Willow might quietly say, small correction.
Of course.
Wasn't my workshop. It was my dad's.
Luca hugs him a little bit tighter.
Yeah. Yeah, Willow could use that. I think Willow's happy to accept that. And I would say Willow leans into that hug with the same, kind of reminiscent of that time where we were back to back on the cart
Oh my
all
God.
those months ago.
Oh my God. Oh my God. That hasn't totally imprinted itself on Luca's brain or anything.
Yeah, you feel that familiar feeling of like, oh, I am a comfort.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think we will
Poor
let
Anne.
that scene fade to
Get
black
yours.
for a second.
Yeah. We did it!
We did it!
Love you too.
Oh,
A
thank
long time
God.
coming.
Yay.
I got a headache. We did it. Bitch, now we can start acting like jocks again.
Hell yeah.
All this feeling shit out of here.
I need that energy in my life after last night.
What a hug.
No, just
I can give you one of
shenanigans.
those.
I'm good. I'm good. Peep, peep. No thanks. I'm fine.
You know what? I think Luca, Willow, and the steed all make stealth checks.
Oh.
Oh, yuck. Don't you dare. Close your eyes.
No, this is you guys sneaking up on N as a shenanigan.
Oh, okay. Oh, wow. That's a 5, a natty 1, and let's see, the steed can't save us. I don't think.
Nope.
You know what? I love the idea of like this also meaning that you.
Wow, that's 6. Okay. My
Absolutely
steed
not.
is like,
Also,
I will not go silently. I will be seen. Look at my tail. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
also feel like, almost like, just to embarrass Willow, the idea that you guys like see Willow and Luca hugging as they like float around is so embarrassing from the outside perspective.
No, this isn't about the hug. This is like a couple minutes later after the hug, you're like, let's go surprise N. And N, you see those three, like, you know how people sneak up to you in a pool with their like noses just above the water?
It's hard to miss something that's glowing red.
Yeah, and like 2 riders just like slowly trying to inch up next to you.
And with the whistle hanging out of their mouth, like at the smoke, just watching this
Varys,
big,
get the trident. We're going fishing.
this big pink blob trying to sneak up in the water.
They approach. Do you let them approach or do you comment on them?
I think I'm looking directly at them.
What's Luca's nat 1 look like?
His head
He's
sticking out.
breast and boobily. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
his
a
ass sticking
submarine,
out.
like little.
His shirt is like soaked to the skin. And he's like giggling to himself as you all like ride up close.
Willow's like, nah, okay, they see us. You know what? I'm gonna vortex walk you.
Oh no.
Me?
Yep, roll a...
Con save.
Okay. Yeah, that's a fail. So what I imagine happening is, and like the whistle drops from their mouth as they start to speak. It's on a tie, so it falls.
String.
Yeah, it's on a string, so it just falls against their chest. And like, what you doing that? And then
No, it's so funny because I imagine Willow like when they realize like we've been caught. Willow's like, anyway, pops up out of the water, shoots you, and fires you directly into like the tiny space right in front of them.
Oh my god.
So you appear, I reckon, like facing back towards me in just a flame. Like
Accordion noise.
Willow like leans in. Hi.
And like
The elk,
hands kind of
the
grip
steed.
at the fins loosely for purchase.
You won't find it because you're back against the neck of the steed.
You're like basically sitting on the little bony lump that is like equivalent to a saddle horn. Just like you just got fins on your back and Willow in your front and Luca looming behind them. And a look of mischief as they start like racing through the water and you nearly fall off.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, and lunges forward and like grabs onto Willow's shoulders because they're the closest shoulders.
I have to hold on to my suspenders, like, and also Willow's going to be leaning past you to hold on to the actual like.
Yeah. So we're just
and
like
then it's going to start dolphin jumping again.
Our heads are like crisscrossed, so I'm also like right up against Luca almost. Nose.
Yeah.
The tangle.
Yeah.
Speak about entanglement, Varys.
Yeah.
You could say howdy.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Hey, you can shut the fuck up and then we go underwater.
You splash around and play until it starts to slowly rain, and then you drag your soggy selves back onto the ship and start sailing for the day.
Varys, come and try us.
No, thank you.
No, please. Not again.
Don't think there's room on there.
I'm just gonna go change like a normal person that doesn't get blown off the deck or vortex warped onto a giant killer fish horse. And it says wobbling into the cabin. But I think they're like laughing halfway.
Yeah.
Cool.
Oh.
Varys' navigation check for the day.
Aw,
Well,
thanks, man.
So, thank you for maintaining some level of decorum.
If anybody would like to, please roll for random encounters, just a d20.
I'm saying Rom, because Rom and roll start with R.
Oh,
There
okay.
you go.
What was it again? Sorry?
D20.
D20? Okay, thank you.
Yes, please.
Oh!
There's a 19.
Nice.
Ooh. Okay. Now, I will roll.
Oh. Danger rolls.
Be nothing. Be nothing.
Okay.
Luckily, Anne was probably still in their kind of like sleepwear that entire time. Thank you. I
Yeah.
went to the freezing cold water in my pajamas, so I'm in my armor now.
Yep.
So cute.
Okay.
Willow stayed soggy for a bit.
Yeah. Willow did the dog shake of like,
Yeah. Luca
and kept
got
like
a nice
petting the. Kept petting the
Luca.
horse.
What did I get?
Luca got the little like reassuring, not reassuring, validating head nod of like we good as we head back on the boat.
Yeah.
And a little like whatever fist bump of equivalent these two have. Do they fist bump?
You mean
Maybe
a
they
little
do
sack tap?
now.
I can start.
Okay.
Luca doesn't
I
know
hold
what that
the fist
is.
out for a bump. Luca holds it.
Yeah, Luca puts it
Holds
between his
in both
hands. Yeah.
Willow's like, work
I
on
need to
that.
teach you something.
That's for another lesson.
Yep. Cool. I would like anybody who's on deck during the day, to give me a perception check.
And my new steed, Luca's gonna need lessons on how not to be a square around the whisperers.
You're gonna adopt
Okay.
that from Neve?
Yeah. perception.
I'm gonna leave you guys to do perception. I'll give one of you my spyglass. Willow's gonna be doing stuff charting indoors. I need to figure some stuff out.
My hippocamp's like too enamored with itself to look at anything else.
It's like it's jumped up on the deck and is basically sunning
Give the
itself.
spyglass to Varys.
Varys with my spyglass?
Sure.
Wait, it can come on deck? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Luca hugs it when it's on deck.
It's like basically seal flopped on the side and just like
Yes!
sunning itself.
I think Willow probably
Cool.
would have brought it up, being like, yeah, seal can come in a boat.
Hell yeah.
Kerplump.
Yep. It's kind of in the way.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Beloved.
Okay, so Varys with the spyglass says, think I see something shining in the water. Points it out to you. Looks like it's a little bottle. That's just floating out in the current.
Oh. Is it a mimic? Do they come in that
Do they
size?
come in that shape?
You could just send your steed to fetch it. Willow's inside charting, by the way.
Oh, so true. Go, hippocamp. Put it in your mouth. Bring
It
it back.
looks at you, says no, lies on the sun, lies on the deck.
Looks at Luca. You gonna...
Yeah.
Is your
Luca
hippocamp
takes off his jacket.
square? Oh, you're gonna go?
Yeah.
Well, if you're gonna go, and we're gonna take off their ring of swimming, give it to you.
Just, yeah.
Oh, smart.
Takes no attunement, so.
It doesn't need attunement, so you can just take it and swim your walking speed.
Yeah, nice.
Why aren't
You swim over it to find a message in a bottle.
Luca obviously
Come
brings
back
it
on deck.
Very
Yes.
excited.
It's an empty glass bottle that has a cork in it and a rolled up message. Roll a d6, please.
Oh. See if the message eats me. That is a 3.
It's a little bit soggy, but you
And-
can read it mostly because it is written in wax crayon.
And's gathered around, like, what's this? What's the
Yeah,
hot
yeah.
gossip of the sea?
It looks to be a child's drawing of a treasure map addressed to a parent who's at sea.
Oh.
We need to look at it and like, yeah, right? We need to.
I mean, it fell into our lap.
We can't just leave this.
No. Let's take it in, bring it to Willow, and in my infinite wisdom as once a child, can I, that poltergeist specifically, it's gonna kind of look at it and see if they can decipher anything. Again, in their infinite wisdom, it's hung out with a lot of kids that pulled a lot of capers, so maybe?
Make an investigation check. You can have the help action from Lucas for
Yeah.
Luca for advantage.
Let's give it a go, see what we can't puzzle out by putting our heads together. Oh, it's a
Wow.
19.
Whoa.
Well, it's not at all a real map
Yes.
on account of it is drawn by a child. They have drawn basically just sort of a blobby macaroni-shaped island with a big X and a palm tree on it.
Classic.
And a note that says, "Dear Daddy, I made this treasure map for you. If you find it, go to the X and there will be treasure, and treasure is spelt TRESHUAR.
Oh yeah, of course.
Treasure.
Treasure.
How else do you spell it? Is that
Yeah.
not the official spelling of treasure?
Don't worry about it.
Miss you, lots of love, like 10 kisses and hugs, and like the name Zelly.
We have to put it back.
In the sea?
Yeah. What if it makes it to the daddy?
And looks out at the sea, like calculating the odds of that actually happening.
Is there a spell I can cast on this to Can I cast like bless on the bottle?
I don't think it works like that.
Well, we've committed it to memory, so I don't see any reason
We
why
could
not.
ask Willow to make a copy. They're very good at that.
That they are. And looks at the map, which is like, I could copy this in like 5 minutes. Ed's gonna bring it into Willow though. Like, hey Willow.
Willow's in the middle of something. I think Willow's remained soggy, like in that kind of way of like, that has gotten my mood in a good way, and I'm gonna keep it by remaining like I'm wearing the sea on me, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're doing their
the-
charting.
I've just come in from the beach and I am just vibing.
Yeah, I'm doing this for Willow's very accustomed to this. Like, it doesn't really affect them too much. So like, I think you see them probably wrapping up on making some measurements and some assumptions and some assessments. I would like to make rolls to Zeke though, or like do whatever
Yes,
I need
please.
to Zeke to figure out. What do I need to?
What are you trying to do exactly?
I am trying to figure out how long it would take Emma's little contraption to get back to the convocation. Or, sorry, the alternatives, no, she wouldn't use a sending stone because that would be, like texting someone, by the way, Fenn's not dead. So, like, that's probably not the case. Well, and
You don't want to
Emma's
email
probably gonna
breakup.
Excuse you. There's checking too, like, basically checking from Regalport if the airship's already at Regalport, but they're still at the convocation, it's safe to assume? Oh no, there could be either way. Basically, Willow is going to map the minimum amount of time that they have before Emma tells Coulton and Coulton comes back to Orthos.
Okay. So, give me an investigation check with advantage. Fish Dog is helping you.
See. 26.
Very nice. I will paste the information to you in sequence, that you can read it at your leisure.
It's just, I think. Okay, let me just have a quick read while you guys are talking about the bottle.
Treasure maps.
We can't even go and like look for the treasure because that would be mean.
Well, I mean, we can look at it. We don't have to take it.
We could put extra in. That would be
That's-
so wonderful.
That's a
Like, could you-
true.
Can you imagine if you see the little child, their daddy comes back, and the dad's like, "Hey, thank you for putting this 500 gold pieces into my treasure chest. Where did you get them?" And the child is like, "I put 1 gold in, daddy." And you're like, "Oh, where did the gold come from?"
Well, it's the island fairy.
Yeah,
That's what we're gonna be out here in the seas. That's what we'll become.
yeah. I'm a fairy.
A strange creature that sometimes plays tricks on you and sometimes leaves gold under your pillow. You never really know. Probably shouldn't eat their food.
Why under the pillow?
I don't know. That's just something adults made up. The hiding place? Where the kid's gonna check
Is it?
when they wake up? I mean, that's where I put my knives before I go to sleep, so...
That's a practical, so your enemies don't know that you have a knife.
Well,
But-
you don't want your enemies to know you also have a gold piece.
Teeth? That's true.
My argument stands. It's a good hiding place.
I wonder if how Willow has their magic pockets. I wonder if you could make a magic pillow so that it could still function as a pillow, but when you open the side of the pillowcase, it is also a bag of holding.
I don't know. Because I would think if you made the pillowcase a bag of holding, then if you try to put a pillow inside it, it just kind of gets zooped with whatever else you put in it.
Into the bag, yeah.
Yeah, so what you might have to do is you have to make a separate pouch within the pillowcase.
For the case.
Yeah,
or
so
for the holding bag.
Yeah, you got the pillowcase, and then you got a secondary kind of like pouch under the pillow part where the bag of holding is, so it's two-pronged, and then you could hide numerous items under your pillow. I think that's how it works.
I think you guys here now?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, having this conversation.
We're just shooting the shit.
Okay, Willow's going to, when they see you guys come in, I think kind of focusing on what they're doing, not really noticing what you guys are saying. Willow's going to say, okay, I figured out our timing.
Fantastic. We need you to copy this map.
What?
And slaps down the children's map.
It takes Willow like a full 5 seconds to recalibrate from the things they are thinking.
We found this highly secret map floating in the ocean.
Okay, it looks... Yes, okay. Zelly.
It might also lead to treasure of unknowable riches.
Right, well, we
Probably
just handed
worth more
away
than,
Lazar's.
Yeah, more than Lazar's treasure, so this'll...
Oh. Someone
This
call
is
Meryl,
Zelly's
then maybe
treasure.
we'll be able to pull her in for something else. Maybe she can solve hunger. Anyway, Willow's going to gesture. I'll get back to Zelly's very important map in a moment, if I could have you all here.
And shrugs at Luca like, yeah, we're here.
Yeah.
Actually, quick question to Zeke. What is the minimum amount of time that we can get to Orthos from where we are right now?
Well, at the end of the day...
From now.
Okay, so you're middle of the day, you're sort of level with Cordain. Let's see. It's about 400 miles. The ephemeral chaos at its top speed, traveling 24 hours a day, can do about 120 miles unless you juice it.
How does one juice it?
No slots?
Supercharge the elemental engine and basically sail overnight.
Okay.
So, which
Which has
case
some
I would
risks,
say,
but-
yeah. Which case I would say that's a minimum of 3 more days.
Oof.
Is the fastest you can get there.
Okay. So Varys is in the room too?
Yes.
Willow will say, I've charted the course. If we are traveling very, very fast, the quickest we can get to Blackrock is 3 days. Yes, see?
Mm-hmm.
And assuming the minimum amount of time with Emma's flying contraption and the storm chaser, and barring any other obligations, Willow gives a look like they don't suspect that's going to be a problem, but take that with a grain of salt. Willow says the fastest that they could arrive at Blackrock is 5 days, meaning we have a potential 2-day grace period to get to Orthos first.
That's a long time.
2 whole days. Are you planning on repairing the Kraken Slayer in 2 days? Is that what?
We'll get there first.
See what we're working with.
If it's in 2
Appreciate the
pieces,
optimism, though.
it might be a
Words.
little harder.
Willow gives Luca a look like, don't say that. Looks to Varys, who I feel is going to have the only reasonable reaction to saying we got a speed there 24-hour day.
Well then, we'll need to start arranging sleeping in shifts proper, instead of all at the same time.
I can
Yeah, I did
give
that once.
the elemental some treats to keep us going. I've noticed I get my energy back pretty fast as long as I can sit still for a while.
I've already discussed with Lucas some sort of training regime so that we can all be ready by the time we get there. I think using Varys's particular skills as a foundling could be useful to help prepare us for what's to come.
Like me getting more sturdy so I don't get blown off the ship as easily. I see.
Exactly. And I mean that for what you lack in your physical construction, we can make up for in other ways. Granted, we don't want to rip your ankles off, so...
Yeah.
I have other...
Luca looks
Anyway.
at and like, remember, cut off their hands.
and gives you a look like, yeah, that could be said about many things. It's a legitimate strategy, I'll admit, but yeah, I have other talents, even if I'm not heavy.
And all the while, we remain vigilant as always, but we have Emma off our case for now. Only the rest of the sea to worry about. Something tells me Corbicon's not finding us.
Oh, I've already forgotten. Who's that?
I'd like to see him try. I'll wear his hat while I kick his ass.
And if all goes accordingly, then we'll beat the Storm Chaser home.
Can't ask for better.
Never mind. That's an 8. How's Willow
That was
feeling?
well built up.
Yep.
Oops, I rolled with advantage. Take whatever's on the left.
Oh, damn.
Which is a 13, baby!
Once in your
I
life.
am. Yeah, no,
You're being
and I
very
think it's
calm and strategic.
good. Yep.
And I trust them. So,
Yay.
Yeah.
Finally.
You just tugged it out, so yes.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, it might sneeze, honestly. I think after they say all that, they sort of stand there and then just like sneeze because they've been standing here like wet this whole
In the
time.
cold. Yeah. A little bit
it
damp.
probably not a good idea for our captain to get a cold right before a historic meeting.
And lights their hand on fire and holds it out to Willow. Like,
Luca nods like, yeah.
I'll dry you off.
I will say, usually whenever you say that, Willow roll their eyes. They don't reject it. I mean, historic. Well, anyway,
Cool.
yeah, we'll dry their hair over ends and sure. Oh no, actually, you know what? Willow's going to ask Varys to test their theory about blasting air through hot. Start a fire on their boats, set Willow on fire.
Varys is like, I don't think that's gonna work, and I don't think I want to do that inside. So I'll politely decline on that front. Let's see about getting that elemental a little bit faster, though, eh? Varys looks at Anne.
Can do,
their
boss.
Under their breath, Willow says, first lesson, difference between a sea dragon and a whisperer.
I'll set you on fire if you want.
Thank you, that's the spirit.
Also, when N said boss, they gave Willow a grin. Before heading
Who's
downstairs.
boss?
Willow's boss.
Yeah, and so
Oh, he said to me?
Yeah.
Willow's not denying it. Willow just keeps doing that little face of like, I guess. No. Anyway,
They just get a little perkier every time.
It's like they're trying it on. They're not entirely like, they're like, maybe. Nah, I wouldn't. But maybe.
Couldn't possibly.
No, I couldn't.
Anyway, and if you would like to make an Arcana check with advantage as Varys is helping you with the elemental engine.
Okay.
To
19.
Okay. So, I'm going to say that you manage to get an extra 50 miles on this
Ooh.
first day.
Oof.
So you are this far along your journey by the end of the day. So
Damn!
there's
Good job.
only 300 miles left, roughly.
Oh, shite.
To Scairn.
To Black Rock.
Black Rock, yes. My bad.
Yeah, I think Welton is below deck after they finish with the elemental. They wander back to their hammocks and thinking about the shortened time frame we have to get to Black Rock, Orthos now. They pull out the sending stones, especially the one to the Buttermilk Inn. Butterick. It's Butterick, right? That's his actual.
Yeah, it's Beaumont Botterick, yes.
Beaumont
de
Butterick.
Galan.
I'm gonna need his actual name for this, because if I just say buttermilk through the sending stone, that's not gonna get the intended effect. Yeah, Olin is alone down there. They're gonna start with him. And they're going to send him a little message on the sending stone, which is Beaumont Butterick, I hold your contract. Work with me, and we can negotiate its fate. Fail to reply, I out you to the relevant parties. And close it off at that.
Ooh. And
And they're gonna pocket the sending stone so it's on them if a reply comes through, and return above deck.
good job. Good job. You did it. You did it. You bossed it.
Fueled by elemental engine and eldritch power, the ephemeral chaos speeds away, bound for Blackrock.